Okay, last we left off, we got to Hollow Bastion, the fun part of the game. We just fought Maleficent. It was a pretty nasty boss fight. Got some more stuff to do related to Maleficent. I think I can get there from here. There was like a warp in this room. Maybe I'm misremembering. Oh, it must be right through here. Back to Kingdom Hearts 2 right after God of War. New God of War is just super good. No business being as good as it is. This might be backtracking, so I might actually pop back into this room here. We had a little bit of struggle with Maleficent. Died when she was at like 15% of health. Had to do it again. I think so. People didn't vote for that, and it's not classified that way in the voting spreadsheet, but you always can take the chance that I'll just like a game enough that I'll want to do main plus extras through playing it, like what happened with Deus Ex, and I think that we can already say that that's happened with God of War. I guess selecting main plus extra is assuring that it happens whether I personally feel like I want to do it or not. Hey. There we go. It's the Princesses of Heart. And Riku was a jerk. Awesome. No, it seems like the side content in that game is meeting that unique, relevant, good rewards. I basically have a checklist of things. Significant.
Kyrie! Kyrie! Kyrie!
Insignificant side content usually just
It's
being
no use.
stupid, repetitive content.
That girl has lost her heart. She cannot wake up.
What? You're not Riku?
He's Billy Zane and Riku
The
at
keyhole
once.
cannot be completed, so long as the last Princess of Heart still sleeps.
Wake her up then. Oh wait, maybe that's a bad thing.
Princess? Kyrie's a princess?
What?
Yes.
She's not a known
And
Disney
without her
character.
power, the keyhole will remain incomplete.
She doesn't have an
It is
animal
time
sidekick.
She awakened.
Whoever you are, let Riku go!
Oh my god.
Give him back his heart!
Oh my god! Although actually it was
first-
sort of obvious.
You must give the princess back her heart.
You must give the princess back her heart.
What's...
Don't you see yet? The princess's heart is responding. It has been there all along. Kyrie's heart rests within you.
What?
Kyrie's inside me?
I know all that there is to know.
I feel like we were a pretty
Tell
mature
me,
channel for the most
who
part,
are
but that
you?
camera angle.
It is I, Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness.
Hey! Oh, it gets cornier. That Link Crazy D video that Serp posted, and I had no idea what the hell he was talking about. Aqua?
So, I
Norded?
shall release
What?
you now, princess.
Does any of that mean?
Complete the keyhole with your power. Open the door. Lead me into everlasting darkness.
Sora! Forget it.
Well done, Johan.
There's no way you're taking Kyrie's heart.
I'm okay with downgrading Chaos. If whoever adds it to the sheet wants to downgrade or upgrade, just let me know, and just know it'll cost more or less as a result. I'm not gonna lock anybody into the setting they picked. Shoot me a Discord DM about it. Riku's a butt. I get no allies in this fight, which isn't a big deal, because they don't really help anyway. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish my 3-hit combo though, with the way he keeps jumping around. I don't think so. There's one.
Show me your power.
Oh yeah? What's infamous about this fight? I guess it'll go longer than I remember it going, just because I have to rely on ground combos. A lot of these fights reward aerial fights. Especially engaging aerial makes a big difference in this game, I feel like. Big difficulty spike. Sort of smash. Oh yeah, let's get a little cutscene before it. This and Maleficent too are both pretty big difficulty spikes, aren't they? I remember struggling a bit with Maleficent a long time ago.
Show me your power. Useless.
You're the one who's useless. Let me finish my combo, asshole. Great. Big zipper opera dialogue, everybody falls asleep at the end of it. Just looks really confused. Oh, sweet. I'm gonna level up from tech points from attacking him. I'll take it. You dick. Oh, I didn't need to double cast that. Shit. Witness true power. We're definitely not beating Sephiroth with this ground-based combo build. Sephiroth's all about flying at him and getting like 1 or 2 aerial hits off. I'll give him a try though. Beat him a couple times as a kid. Younger adult. You don't like Yoko Shimomura, Darkstar? Darkstar hates women, confirmed. He's actually light inside the darkness. He's both light and darkness. He's Shadow. He's going to join a new organization, LIGHT. Keep saying I want to see a AAA Zipper Opera parody, but I feel like at this point that would be Barkley 2. I don't know if it's ever going to get finished. I think they ran out of Kickstarter money. I'm glad that you want me to witness your true power, because it gives me a bunch of time to charge up my triple hit. I'm getting a decent amount of XP from those parry tech attacks, too. Hey, Leaf Bracer, living the dream. Welcome Oblivion. I actually would welcome Oblivion. I think it's Andrea's favorite Keyblade. I think you get it in Hollow Bastion? Haha. You didn't hit me with any of that. Let me hit me with the very last thing. I think the ground combo strategy is actually working out pretty well for me right now. I'm not getting caught in a bunch of bullshit from him. I'm good. He's untargetable when he does that shit, and it runs out my arrow. It's like the worst thing about it. The actual danger is fairly low. Whee! missed me.
Open your heart to darkness. Surrender.
Yep. I'm good.
Here it comes.
This last phase is definitely the worst part of the fight because you can only damage him part of the time and you can't heal as consistently as before. Oh, really? Really? I was in mid-elixir? Ugh. That's a bummer. Alright, get used to this. That's a super bummer. You continue, you don't preserve any of the, like, combo XP you got, right? It just resets you to where you were before. Seeker of Darkness after all. Trothelite. I do not get to keep it. That sucks. Let me make sure that he's got a good stock of just MP recovery then, because in that second phase I can't hit him often enough to keep my MP up, because he keeps going invulnerable every time he does that stupid dashing attack. Do they let me skip the cutscene in the 1.5 remix version of the game? Hey! Thanks, game. Good looking out. I hate you, handsome. I do think the more I think about it, the MP system in this game is one of my least favorite things about it. Like, it does not incentivize having more MP than, like, the base 3 because of the way the regeneration works, right?
Well, what now? Useless.
Yeah, that has always bugged me too, Spiky. And Riku is, like, actually in Kingdom Hearts 2, kind of, sort of. Final Fantasy X-2 fairies.
Show me your power.
I'm working on it, buddy. With that Kingdom Hearts arrow duration IQ. You say heal this? I will, happily.
Show me your power.
Okay. You taunting me? Continue to do that from a corner, please. No, chaos! Come here. I think when he gets down to green health is when we have to start worrying about it. It seems like that's correct. Once he starts doing that Oblivion charge, you just need to start spamming attacks on him just to build MP, if nothing else. Come on, buddy. think I need to heal more aggressively since I recover so much more MP when I'm out of MP. Try to. Alright. I do not.
Now witness true power.
Yeah, I really need my aerial combos. This is an elixir kind of fight for sure. I guess the MP system makes items a lot more useful than in a lot of games, right? Yeah, I would do that too, Aki. It would make a lot of like magic use in general be a lot more valuable. You dick. Oh, I hate you so much. I'm about to die again from that. This attack is what's going to get me killed, because I don't have enough time to hurt him to get my MP back. Come on. This is about where we were last time when we died before.
Behold the power of darkness. Surrender. Behold the power of darkness.
I hate you. Stop that.
It's over.
Changes MP in Kingdom Hearts 2. Good to know. Forgot about that. I might need to use magic on him just to fight him before he goes into his invincible phases here. At least that actually landed. I guess this is where Donald and Goofy doing a little bit of passive damage here and there between these phases helps a lot. I can maybe get one combo off on him each time he does this. It's not guaranteed at all. Getting there.
Here it comes.
Almost.
Behold the power of darkness.
Behold the power of darkness. Okay.
It's over. Here it comes. Here it comes. Behold the power of darkness.
Be holding it yet? I don't know if I've fully beholded it yet, to be honest. So close! One more combo!
Open your heart to darkness.
I don't want to, though, buddy.
It's over.
Good lord. I'm so sorry, Chaos. I feel like it's only about to get worse, right? After net neutrality finally dying and Comcast and Time Warner merging. Ugh. I managed to avoid the data cap. Did you ever look into getting a business plan? Like, the cost is actually comparable and it always has unlimited data, at least with Comcast. I hate, you know, paying them for a different plan to basically reward them for instituting data caps at all.
It won't work. The keyhole's not finished yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, AT&T and Time Warner, right?
What can we do?
Maybe we gotta go wake Kyrie up.
I think you're right. If we can free her heart. But how?
How do you free her hearts?
A keyblade that unlocks people's hearts. I wonder.
Sora?
Is it a particularly special Keyblade? Is there a Keyblade that unlocks all kinds of different things?
Sora!
Keyblade that unlocks
hold
people's
on.
dogs? Let's use the evil Keyblade. Kind of seemed like that's what Ansem was about to do anyway. Oh, sure. Yeah, I guess I'm internet only, so if I wanted to have cable as well. Keep using that Reddit live TV streaming subreddit. What? I mean, don't use that. That would be wrong.
Sora!
Interesting, Aki.
What's happening to me? Falling into darkness.
So, as, like, completely stupid as Kingdom Hearts is, I remember this sequence actually being pretty neat. Dramatic Donald Yell.
Sora? Are you really? No, he can't be. I won't let him go!
So, you have awakened at last, Princess.
Hey, Billy Zane without
The
Riku's voice
keyhole
actor.
is now complete. You have served your purpose, but now it's over.
His costume is so ridiculous.
Do you think we can stop him all by ourselves?
Yeah, okay, so we went to all the trouble of fighting Riku, and then we did exactly what he wanted to do in the first place. So, like,
Impossible. No. You won't use me for this.
Riku!
impossible.
You've got to run. The Heartless are coming.
I know, right?
What about the keyhole?
I don't think what movie he was in most recently. Was it Titanic? What? I always thought this was really cool. So for as goofy as Kingdom Hearts is, I see what they're doing with this. It's actually kind of cool that Sora, for the entire game, kind of mimics a Heartless. Like, his combat stance is all hunched over like that. That's an intentional design decision. I don't remember if Roxas is the same in Sora and Kingdom Hearts 2. Oh yeah, Mummy was after Titanic. Is he in the whole trilogy? He was, he wasn't the guy with all of the different religious symbols. He was the rich dude. Was he, the love interest brother? I'm trying to remember her name, the actress. Pretty sure he was in the second one as well. It wasn't the brother. It wasn't even Billy Zane? Okay. No, I was thinking of the same person. I'm pretty sure that's Billy Zane, isn't it? No, maybe not. Have to look at IMDb and see if I recognize anything. Oh man, that original Mummy movie was so good. It had no business being that good. It's on a list of like 10 movies that had no business being good. Pirates of the Caribbean's another one. Okay, I can still take elevators. That tells me something about what I should be doing here. I think that scene where the scummy guy takes out all of the different holy symbols is super clever. That's a good, solid adventure movie. It was fun. Brendan Fraser was a pretty good choice for the star as well. He prays to all the gods, and then the mummy is like, the language of the slaves when he starts speaking Hebrew. Perhaps you can be of some use. Yeah, nuke me easily. Don't worry, guys, it's me, your friend. I don't remember how he gets. I mean, Sora is a Heartless for the rest of all the Kingdom Hearts games.
Sora? Is that you? This time I'll protect you.
You got a Keyblade?
Sora!
Oh, you're gonna hug me. He was in Scorpion King 3? No kidding. It was the power of friendship that brought him back.
Sora!
That just raises further questions!
That'd be pretty great if, like, Sora was just stuck as a Heartless there and you played as Kairi for a while. Transferred all the abilities, Final Fantasy V style.
Come with us.
I told you before, I'm not leaving without Belle. Now go! The Heartless are coming.
All right. Let's get out of here.
Can I try to talk while just moving my jaw up and down? Oh my god. Oh, beast. The mummy was creepy, especially the scarabs. Ugh. Guy with the keyblade, they're just handing those things out. Alright, David Boreanaz.
So the darkness is flowing out of that keyhole.
No wonder there are more and more Heartless everywhere. The only way to stop them is...
Seal the keyhole, right?
It's a super solid
Maybe,
adventure film.
but no one knows what will happen once it's sealed.
Well, we can't just stay here. We have to do something. I've got a friend back there.
That's right. You have one more friend to worry about. Riku's Keyblade must have been born of the captive princess's hearts. Just like that keyhole you saw. Of course, without Kairi's heart, it remained incomplete. Once that Keyblade was destroyed, the princess's hearts should have been freed. Don't worry, Sora. If anyone can save your friend, you can.
Thanks, Angel. Happy Traverse Town music. New types of Heartless are popping up everywhere, you say? Let me brood for a while. Then go turn around and face this corner. There you go. Oh, Squall. I love, like, I want to know what happened behind the scenes that made them all decide to call him Leon instead of Squall. Maybe it was the advent of voice acting. Is like the official release of this game in Japan, like the Ultimix release, does it have English voice acting? I know that's kind of a thing where when they'll do a second special edition release of a Japanese video game that's been localized in the West, they'll give it English voice acting with Japanese subtitles. Whoops. Just seems like a Squall thing to do. Alright, let's maybe not walk in there and get insta-shot. English subtitles only? Okay. I think Final Fantasy X International had English voice acting and Japanese subtitles. I want to say that's a thing. Because it would make sense given that Disney products are originally English. You guys suck, you know that? Alright. Their overall health is much outpaced my DPS right now. I gotta get some upgrades. Yeah, just constant stream of ellipses. Ugh. Help! Oh, really? US? Wow. I mean, I can see why, right? I had the opportunity to play, we were gonna do the Dreamcast European release version of Shenmue 2, which, originally apparently was Japanese voice acting with English subtitles. Which you would think is like, that's the most legit way to play Shenmue. I mean, it's about a teenager in Japan. Of course you want to hear the Japanese voice acting, but like, the bad English voice acting is so critical to that experience that I went out of my way to find a patch for it that ripped the English voice acting from the Xbox version. I'm actually really surprised that it worked. We're lucky that Shenmue has such an active fan community. Yes, that's exciting. I'm bummed that the timing didn't work out. Well, I guess we got to play Shenmue in its, you know, totality. I just hope that the PC releases don't have like a save file transfer to Shenmue 3 if Shenmue 3 ever happens. I guess if they do, I'll just play through Shenmue 1 and 2 again off stream. Oh my god, there's so many assholes here. Alright guys, it's enough. I'm done. I'm over it. The Japanese voice acting is good. English voice acting is better. By virtue of being worse. I'm surprised Skies of Arcadia hasn't gotten re-released. It seems like Sega's out to re-release virtually everything that they were closely involved on. Just send them money. Give us some walking around money. My favorite webcomic of all time is Achewood, and it's a very specific kind of humor. I'm not sure how many people would actually like it. But there's a joke on there where this one character's really rich, and his friend's trying to help him with his finances, and he's like, why did you send a check for $10,000 to Oreos? And he's like, I like their product. I wanted them to have some walking around money. I think about it all the time, but I'm like, I'm going to buy another copy of Hollow Knight. But I like Team Cherry's product. I want them to have some walking around money. I need a Mithril Stone, Power Stone, Spirit Gems, Fury Stones. Lucid Gems I think I can get now, kind of. Thunder Gem, Mithril... Lots of elemental stones. I don't remember where to get most of those. Yeah, elemental stones basically the name of the game right now, unfortunately. Okay. We'll check out the other shop in Huey, Dewey, and Louie. I think this is around the time most of the content in the game changes. SAP, Raise of Strength, Chaos Ring. Protega, Firaga, Firagun. Is that like an official Final Fantasy thing that I've never heard of? Something above? I thought it was Firaga Firaja. But okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, but I'm wondering where the gun came from, if that's new to the Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, or if it showed up in a different game. I know it's Ja. Okay, here we go. Oh, they just sell Orichalcum? No shit. Okay, I guess it's an endgame money dump. Currently has the Magus Staff. Do you want him to have more MP? I want him to be more defense oriented, right? Currently has a golem shield. Yeah. So delay the rate at which Goofy dies as much as possible. Normally I would go for attack, but he kind of sucks at that. Oh, I didn't even see Herc's shield, shit. Alright, well I wasted some money there. I guess I'll take the Adamant Shield. It's not all that bad. But the difference is pretty significant. After aerial combo, select follow-up attack to unleash Ragnarok. Which I don't think is actually terribly good, if I recall correctly. Okay. Yeah, I have Ocarina of Time on the N64, the Wind Waker pre-order disc, the Zelda Collector's Edition, the Wii Virtual Console, and the 3DS. I think it's the same here. Pretty good disc. I think I got it on the Wii Virtual Console and then paid for the upgrade to the Wii U version. Right. I do wish at some point that Nintendo would move to a model where they recognize that you own a game and respect that on future consoles. I know it's not great for their money-making prospects. I'm glad we farmed those elemental shards earlier. I don't know if there's really an in-game place to get them now that the elementals are gone here. More Lucky Strike for Donald. That's exciting.
Come on! Thunder! Come on!
Alright, hold up. Donald, Lucky Strike, yes please. Do I have any new Keyblade options? Olympia. I need the stuff that gives me the MP boost, unfortunately. A lot of these other ones are really good damage. I hope we get a Switch remaster of Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword's a really pretty game that suffers from being 480p. And then they could go back and like try to do some quality of life improvements. A lot of what's wrong with that game is just like a UI quality of life problem more than anything else. Alright, these guys heal lightning damage. And they're immune when they're doing that big cast. I really need to get an upgrade, like a weapon upgrade. I don't do enough damage anymore. I think I got a torn page when we were in there. Come on. Cut that shit out.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah, you're only buying a license. I hate it. Bums me out. Mm-hmm. Right. I do have a bunch of Trinities to do. I guess I could quickly look up all the locations. Kingdom Hearts Trinity locations. 30 points. I don't want an IGN guide. Unique game FAQs. Oh my gosh, you guys are the worst. Here we go. Trinity Push. Mystical House. Looks like there's one of each Trinity in each zone, maybe. Yeah, that was nice. It was reasonably priced too, I felt like. Backwards compatibility in virtual consoles are really hard to do, especially if you want to have like pixel perfect emulation, but I appreciate when companies make the effort to make it happen. Come on. Oh my god. Sora. Sora, you're the worst. There you go. Good job. Okay. AP up. Yeah. I'm pretty bummed about that too. I imagine that they're in bigger trouble now, right? Because of that big Switch hardware exploit, which wasn't even Nintendo's fault. I heard it was a NVIDIA problem. The hardware exploit and the USB-C... Well, I think that's an overall USB-C problem, too. That nobody's really following the standard, which is supposed to be the whole point of USB-C. Especially frustrating for a company that's generally knocking everything else out of the park, right? To be getting that wrong. This might take a second. Oh, like Sega Channel? Oh man, takes me back. We were too poor for Sega Channel, but we had a kid in our Cub Scout troop that had it, and whenever meetings were at his house, we did not have meetings, we just played Sega Channel the whole time. I wouldn't mind that, actually. I guess the frustrating thing would being able to not continue playing it once the window's over, but... Alright. Now, I like the NES, but I feel like there aren't terribly many NES games that have aged well enough to justify ongoing focus on them, right? Like, I feel like Nintendo's titles begin to age well around the Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance era. Like, Mario 1, 2, and 3 have aged just fine, I guess. Don't you dare. Here we go. You almost walked off the edge. Hey, Dalmatians all that time. I learned how to swim again. Alright, let's go to the 100 Acre Wood. Trinity Ladder. It's the one that goes to the accessory shop. Trinity Charge. I think I've done all of those. I'll go back and double check after this. Yeah, right. That's part of what makes you wonder, like, who's the audience? I grew up with the NES, but I'm also in my 30s, and there's a lot of adults with money that are in their early 20s, right? Sample a few games from each console, yeah. Well, if it's an emulation fidelity thing, I can see that being a problem. Like, the new Nintendo 3DS is the only handheld that's powerful enough to handle pixel-perfect emulation of the SNES. There's a really interesting thread you can read about it from the guy that was making SNES. He was really obsessing over pixel-perfect emulation and like the 3 or 4 use cases where it actually matters. Some Speedy Gonzales game. I don't think we've been here yet. I can see Nintendo wanting it to be pixel perfect, but turns out using software to recreate hardware isn't trivial. Hey, it's Eeyore. What's up, Game Saucer? How you doing? You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm doing alright. I just look forward to playing Kingdom Hearts. No problem. He's just screwed. Oh wait, no, he's not screwed. He's missing his tail, though. Wonder where it went this time. Probably wouldn't find it anyway. The owl? It was all about tutorials and minigames. Kapora Gabora. Take Pooh after the swing. Pooh should fit nicely. Okay. So we're gonna push Pooh on the swing so he can spot Eeyore's tail. Is that what's happening? There's still a Tigger minigame we have to do as well. Like jumping around on stumps, I want to say. I see no problems with this logic. Are we standing in the right place? Alright, you're gonna have to help me out here, buddy. Pooh will follow you if you oh my god. I forgot about this. That's why all that honey's out there, because he gets distracted. Ugh. Nice. Yeah, no, the Switch is a pretty good investment. I recommend it very much. E3 announcement or no, like, it's just a nice way to have access to a bunch of awesome indie PC games and have them on the go. I feel like there's enough of a library there. Like Hollow Knight, Celeste, Stardew Valley. I hate this. Come on, Pooh. Yeah, we hug the wall. It's like sneaking an MMO. Multiplayer is going to be out by the time we play Stardew Valley on stream, huh? Or is it already out, just in beta? It was basically a Smash presentation at the end of the day. I guess also Mario Party if you're into that. For some reason, I do not remember this minigame at all. Go too high. It's gonna be like, what was that game? What Remains of Edith Finch. You really have to look for his wings. Well, this was a productive use of our time. Yeah. It says that the demo stuff carries over to the main game, like Bravely Default and Second. Does it seem like that's gonna be worth it? Flew too far. Oh, shit. Oh, thank God. I thought it was gonna make me walk him up there again. Poo honey to pep him up. How does that work? That was so fucking pointless. Yeah, I thought it said in the E3 presentation that the Octopath thing carries over your save, like Bravely Default. I was thinking about checking it out right before it comes out if I get a Marstead's Choice Day, just doing the demo. No problem, Eeyore. Happy to help. Retain the power of time. Stop, which I was never using, has been changed to Stopra, which I will probably never use. Still. I wish this place marked the parts of the 100 Acre Wood you'd already cleared. Maybe we got most of the left side. I think this is the Tigger minigame, I want to say. We'll see how the demo works. I remember the demo for Bravely Second was really stupid on purpose. Like, it was like non-canonical. It just kind of existed to show you the mechanics of the game without spoiling anything, which was neat. Unfortunately, the actual game ended up being stupid too, but that wasn't any fault of the demo. Yeah, I think the right way to do 14 is to pay the sub until you clear out the expansion content and then cancel it until another patch comes out. I think Yoshi P's like explicitly endorsed that too. Let's all come together and play the new Final Fantasy together. Nothing beats bouncing. Sure. Kapora Gabora's, he's good at bouncing? Okay. But I read a lot of books. It's pretty great. I love how, like, that's Tetsuya Nomura et al. That's their breaking point. Nothing else about this game. It's an owl can't teach you to bounce like Tigger. That's just not reasonable. I do remember this minigame, probably because I stuck on it for a while because the platforming is not great. This game's all about realism. Oh, that might be part of the problem. My problem wasn't watching his bouncing. I don't have the high jump or the glide anymore, so I gotta be really precise. I'll probably get my mom to dig up a picture of me dressed as Tigger when I was like 3. It was pretty precise requirement without actually being precise inputs. That just seems unnecessary. At least there's not a time limit, right? Ugh. Alright. It's actually mostly just tricky when you're jumping from a lower stump to a higher stump. Like that very first one's probably the hardest jump in the whole thing. Draw a 90s S with your jump pattern. Come on. This does feel like a game a kid would make up, though, so props. I know, right? It's something they definitely had to have done on purpose, right? Which is kind of what's stressful and surprising about it. Got mighty good at bouncing, Sora. We still haven't jumped in that pot. Hopefully the pot wasn't like a temporary thing that required that. He's ready for the big one. Tigger's giant pot. Whack the nuts back at the pot to shatter it. That's not the same. That's like I go to a 4-year college. For 3 years I learned basic medicine. In the 4th year they send me to like ladder safety training or something. Connected skills at all. Shit. Yeah. The camera is a big part of the issue. Okay. That's it? Let's see if I can get to that item up there. One sec. Hey, Mithril. We needed that to craft something. I don't think we needed that alone to craft something, so there's still more stuff to find. Shoot. Hey. I like how the attack command changes to hit whenever you're here. Or if it was the same in Japanese. But try the seesaw. Thanks, Pooh. You're an addict. You really should see a therapist. How about Tigger? shoot. That might be how the zone wraps up, actually. Can I get these fruits? Or is it a later mechanic?
Here!
Oh, I can't attack, but I can still cast, like, deathly magic as much as I like. This might actually be the correct way to get to that, item that I got earlier. Through janky gliding. Everyone in the Pooh universe has a mental illness. No kidding. Piglet's anxiety. Eeyore's depression. Tigger is ADHD. Pooh is addiction and stupidity, maybe? Roo seems pretty kind of got his shit together. Rabbit is OCD. It's funny because I don't think that was ever like an intention. When did Christopher Robin's dad originally write the books? Hey, that's cool. Okay, as I say, if it doesn't give it to me, I'm gonna be mad. And it was a gummy piece. Yuck. That's all that's here. This area might be optional. 1926. Rare nuts grow on those trees. Talking about these things? Ah. There are only certain ones that I can access. Definitely can't target them. Hey, Kai Mom, how you doing? So I would hazard that we didn't have a particularly good understanding of mental illness when the original Winnie the Pooh was written. It's just like Batman's Rogues Gallery. Sweet, power up. I'll take it. Stock. Doesn't Christopher Robin, like the actual Christopher Robin, hate these books? Or maybe he's made peace with it since then, but... Dark matter. Nice. I love how that's just become like an endgame crafting material. You guys to send it. Speaking of dark matter, send your energy to Andrea. She's giving her science in 3 minutes talk right about now. I can only have one at a time. I bet that's what it is. Okay. On dark matter. Try to get her to record it on YouTube and share it in the Discord later. It's pretty good. It's intended to be for lay people. Which is funny because like she has to do it in the classified area of the lab. Like they didn't set it up for just people in town to go to. She was a little confused about what the intended audience was at first. Babysitting Yahan, post-ECT. Very good. Thanks. I'm working on it, dude. Come on, give me the nut. Can I only get them in a specific order? That's also horrifyingly possible. Oh no, okay. That one down there is the one that it wasn't letting me get a second ago. There we go. Man, he's going to give me all the stat up items. I'm on board. Oh shit, I didn't mean to use that. Oh well. Tents and cottages are kind of garbage in this game anyway. Very good, Johan. He hated his parents. Interesting. And I guess it must have been frustrating to have this immensely popular work be ostensibly based on your experiences and your toys, and you do not really have any input on it. No kidding. Dude, if it really is a certain order you have to get these in, that would be super trashy. We have to drop on it from above. And confirm that he actually wants more nuts here. Working on it, man. Some of them appear to be inaccessible for arbitrary reasons, so... There was one up here somewhere that I wasn't able to pick up before. If y'all spot one that I haven't picked up, let me know. Those... They call them nuts. I don't know if nut is the word I would use to describe them. They're like big pink fruits. There's one that I know of that I'm struggling to loot, which I'm not sure if it's a you have to get them in a certain order problem, or if it's like a awkward hitbox on the nut problem. Oh, there's a chest in here. Love getting all these AP ups. Y'all got any nuts? Try dropping onto top of this one. I'm gonna Google it in a second too. Don't appear to be any up here. Alright, Rue, why don't you pop me up top here? I think it's the one that's right above him. Alright, we're Googling it. Ah, Kingdom Hearts 100 Acre Wood Rare Nuts. How do I get the nuts off the trees? Huh. Use the seesaw, activate and jump on the jet of water. What? Where is there a jet of water? So that's in a different zone and I can like bring it back here later. Unless if this is a final mix thing, because I don't remember this rare nut hunting thing. Step on a certain log and step on the plywood. Oh, is that the thing that he's looking at? Okay, so that's... What? Nani? Alright. I mean, Piglet definitely tells you that it's there, right? So this is probably for one I could have gotten otherwise. So this one might work the same way. Let's see. Can't stand on that. Here we go. Okay. Whatever you say, game. I understand. Look at all these nuts! We couldn't have done it without you. What are they for? It's a secret. Okay. I think that makes us officially done with this area. Got enough orichalcum, I think, for maybe not the rest of the ingredients, but quite a lot of them. And I can buy it with money, which is nice. I think in the original game it was a rare drop from like an in-game enemy in one of the final zones. More mithril, that's good. I needed that too. So there's one more torn page I still need to find, I think. Pretty sure I've done the rest of these stages. Empty Meadow is where we started. Yeah, nothing else here. Oh, you know, I think I should actually be able to have all of the torn pages at this point. Let me back up and double check. Should be one in Halloween Town that maybe I didn't get. One in Atlantica in a chest, one in Agrabah in a chest, or a word for 51 Dalmatians. That might actually be the one that I'm missing. I think I only just recently got to 51 Dalmatians. I'll double check here in a sec, though. Also want to stop back by the accessory shop. 54, yeah. I must have just hit that. Can't really use save points to warp in this game, unfortunately. You can, you have to go to the gummy ship, and then you have to go back to the town you're already in, and then you have to select a new location. It's not terribly efficient. Alright, so I'm gonna see if I can craft new stuff, and I'm gonna see if I can get this last torn page, because I think we have to finish 100 Acre Wood to beat the game. I don't think that's optional. Unless if locking all of the keyholes is just part of the secret ending requirement. I don't actually remember. Hey, jerkwads, leave me alone. "10-minute meetings are where it's at." Number of conference calls I've been on. What you gotta do is know that, I'm sorry, I was multitasking is code for I'm not paying attention to this meeting at all. You're gonna have to repeat whatever you just asked. Oh, bummer, Kaimon, welcome back. I had every day, my entire calendar when I worked at Chase was just bricked with conference calls, and I just had to choose to not go to 90% of them. Most of them were pointless. Mithril. So I need a Thunder Gem. Oh, one of each elemental stone. Several other gems. I guess that's the main thing that the Mithril's doing for me right now. It's not super great. Bummer. Yeah, I mean, I technically should have been My title was project manager, and that was what it would have been, but I wasn't actually needed on the majority of them. Like, there's so many conference calls that I was copied on that realistically needed to have 3 or 4 people on them, and actually had like 50 people. Secret waterway. Thanks, Sid. Hot tips. Yeah. If you ever have enough talk about efficiency, you'll learn how to be efficient if you miss all the calls. I used to get in trouble for my defect calls being too short. As a test lead, I used to run a defect call where I get all the developers on the phone, the project managers, the testers, usually the business people, and we would just run down the list of each defect. So one of my main goals was making them as short as humanly possible. A lot of people, in America at least, confuse quantity with quality when it comes to getting work done. They see you working until 8 p.m. They think that you're working really hard. And if they see you go home at 2 because you finish your work early, they think you're a slacker. Free stay at the inn.
A light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, your grandma's story, right?
That's right. We were together.
You know what's funny? I looked everywhere for
Problem
you,
in the military,
but you were
too.
with me all along. Finally, we're together, Kairi. Now,
Japan, too.
it's time to get Riku back.
You think it'll ever be the same again between us? Riku's lost his...
When I turned into a Heartless, you saved me, remember?
We just gotta go hug him, apparently.
I was lost in the darkness.
For like 3
couldn't
minutes.
find my way.
As cool as that Heartless
As I stumbled
sequence is,
through
it's
the
way
dark,
too short.
I started forgetting things. My friends, who I was. The darkness almost swallowed me.
Fortunately, 2 minutes
But then,
later...
I heard a voice. Your voice. You brought me back.
I didn't want to just
sure,
forget
Chaos.
about you, Sora. I
Hear
couldn't.
that?
That's it. Our hearts are connected. And the light from our hearts broke through the darkness. I saw that light. I think that's what saved me. No matter how deep the darkness, a light shines within. I guess it's more than just a fairy tale.
Well, let's go.
You can't go,
Why not?
because it's way too dangerous.
Yeah, okay, Elro.
Come on, Sora. We made it this far by sticking together. You can't go alone.
Put the camera angle
Kairi,
there.
even if we're apart, we're not alone anymore, right?
I can't help.
You'd kind of be in my way.
Okay.
And
You
she just
win.
accepts it.
Take this.
Just needs to do some level grinding.
It's my lucky charm. Be sure to bring it back to me.
Don't worry, I will.
It's an incredibly
Promise?
anime pose.
Promise.
Don't ever forget. Wherever you go, I'm always with you.
It was especially a problem when I worked at Chase, because, I mean, if you're like in the cutting edge tech industry in Silicon Valley or something, you're probably surrounded by competent people, but working in the tech department at a bank, not so much. Oh man, who's the one who's sorry? It's interesting that they didn't voice act this. Oh, I'm really glad. It's like the opposite here. Oh, I think that's why this scene isn't voice acted. I'm pretty sure I know who the other text is. Uh-huh. This place of darkness where hearts are gathered. I gotta clip that. One of these days, now that Jaden's home from school, he can actually watch Cameron a bit more, so maybe I can get him to take a morning to take her off my hands so I can get a bunch of sound effects caught up. But I definitely need to make one for that. No, I'm really happy to hear that, Kai Mom. There's a lot of places in the US where they just expect you to work 80 hours. You'll see it pop up on like Get Motivated, the subreddit, a lot of the times. Talking about Elon Musk expecting his workers to work 80 to 100 hours a week. Oops. Put on the wrong hoodie today. Well, there's another one. 80's pretty standard in Silicon Valley. I expect that if you don't work that, you're not serious about your job. I'm not just like picking a random number out of my butt that's really big. Like that's a pretty specific expectation. At least 60 in a lot of places. And they won't pay you overtime either because it'll be a salaried position. And it'll be like, oh, well, you can always take comp time and take off days for the extra work that you do. But absolutely not. Like if you take comp time, you will be shunned by the rest of the workplace. Common for doctors, I've heard that. Especially when you're hardcore competing early on, right? Chaos. We're gonna go to the Dalmatians. Yeah, unlimited vacation days, but not really. Take any of them and we'll get upset at you. So I was gonna say before that cutscene, because I've told this story before, but I remember I was trying to figure out why I was done with my work at Chase so early every day. Like usually I would wrap all my work other than meetings by noon or even before noon, and I started at 8. And one time I went to go help one of my coworkers. Most of my coworkers were people in like their 60s that were pretty tech illiterate, and she was doing a really simple task that was just basically copying a couple thousand lines of Excel, and she was doing it by hand. Like she wasn't using copy paste, she wasn't clicking the thing to drag down an autofill, she was doing each step by hand. And I walked over and I showed her, I'm like, you can just do that automatically. Like what is taking you until 7 or 8 p.m. to finish, you could just press a button and it's done. She's like, wow, you're a wizard. Like, I promise I'm not. But I guess everybody's deliverables were calibrated around that, because that's what most of the department was like. Yeah, right. I had to be careful. I realized very quickly that if I made it public how quickly I was able to do everything, that I could basically do the entire workload of my department by myself, that I would be super overloaded and miserable. So I was part of the problem. You know, I've talked about before how project management is hard, and you should never, why don't they just a game developer, because something as simple as asking a dev in India to change a flag from yes to no would easily be like a 2-month project. And I get it. Like, if somebody asked me to flip a switch and testing, I'd be like, oh yeah, that'll take me 2 weeks. I get everyone laid off, exactly. 100 hours a week as an intern resident. Wow. That's awful. Just because it's so competitive, and if you don't do it, somebody else will, basically. Chaos. They're suddenly filling me up with mithril over here. I was very, very frequently on calls where you'd have a developer on the phone and you'd ask them to flip a flag from yes to no, and they would be like, yeah, that'll take me, you're gonna have to bill me 40 hours of work for that. We'll be like, okay, that makes sense. We could just move on with our lives. Every now and then you'd have a bigwig on the phone and be like, wait, seriously? No, go do that right now. I'm not billing you shit. Oh, because that's how much doctors have to work? It's a supply issue? Interesting. I thought there was like a really bad institutional hazing problem though, right? It's like a malignant profession. There's a lot of people who don't cut it to be a doctor. Like you could potentially have a better supply if it wasn't for that pressure keeping people out, you know? It's kind of a self-reinforcing problem where you've got this class of people who all have been pushing themselves to do 80 to 100-hour weeks. So now that's their like base expectation for anyone trying to join the field, and they can't be impressed by anybody who does less. And people that want to be a little bit more reasonable about their work-life balance are just going to say, well, okay, I guess I won't be a doctor, even if they might be skilled in other respects. I mean, you have that in academia really bad, especially in physics is a pretty malignant profession where everybody's an asshole and a piece of shit to each other. And the only people that can like handle that kind of atmosphere all the time are other assholes and people who just have a really thick skin. So now they're like, well, you have to have a thick skin to be a physicist. It's like, well, do you really? Like, you need to be good at science to be a physicist. You don't need to, like, cut out people that don't have thick skins. You're probably losing a lot of really smart folks. What you doing, Pooh? What kind of life decisions are you making over here? Let me see if I have new abilities with all that extra AP I just picked up. Nothing I care about yet, but I'll try to save up. GI Bill used to help, sure. We have a lot of really misaligned, just life advice priorities for people. Thanks, Sora. You can just call him out, man. I don't think he's, like, sharp enough to get what you're gonna be saying, anyway. The design of this area is incredibly goofy. Oh, right. I think I have to get Pooh to all of these things. It just taught me that he follows me slowly. Pooh's gotta see this. Oh my gosh. Pooh? Game? Game. Stop it immediately. Oh my goodness. I don't think I can select Pooh anymore. I think I'm screwed. Hold on. I need to select him to get him to follow me. Alright, we'll try resetting the zone. Shit. We'll see if I get into it, but if I give that PAX panel, I want to talk a lot about, like, it being okay to be a big fish in a little sea. Like, we're always talking about how everyone needs to rise to their level of excellence. Like, if you're destined to be a chemist because you have a talent for chemistry, then if you don't become a chemist, like a tenured chemistry professor, then you're a failure in life. And I think that's totally unfair. The world is less interesting when everyone does only and exactly what they feel they were born to do, you know? Come on. He just stops following me occasionally, I guess? Sometimes you become a high school teacher and pick math on the side. Exactly. And being good at something doesn't mean you enjoy it either, for sure. I was like, I think the world could be really interesting when you got someone who's really musically talented that's not doing music, or someone that's really artistically talented that's not doing art, or someone who's really good at computers is not doing computers. Like, when I worked at AirNet and I was doing shipping, like, I was able to do a giant missort database because I was really savvy with Microsoft Access. It says Pooh's gotta see this, but then I can't do anything when I get to him. Yeah. Yeah, everyone needs to go to college mindset has a lot of its own problems, for sure. Because now we're telling people you can't go to a trade school, you can't be a plumber or an electrician. If you do that, there's something to be ashamed of, but, like, we need people to be plumbers and electricians. Like... Alright, I'm puzzled as to what they want me to do here. I can't get Pooh to respond to me anymore. See if there's somewhere else I can go first, I guess. Also, just Google it again. Not to disparage anyone who did go to college, or disparage anyone who is doing what they feel called to do or what they're good at. Like, that's awesome if you're doing it. But I think most people can agree that, like, one person's life path doesn't need to be everybody's life path, you know? That's true. Yeah, they pay pretty well. If you can get over it. Sticks for your house. Maybe it's actually you have to do this place a certain order. Okay, help Pooh find his lost friends. Now it's an actual minigame, but it wasn't before. Gotcha. I can hear that, Yukipo, yeah. Well, that makes sense. I don't think I can get up there with him, though, can I? Oh, I guess I can after that sequence is over. Well, it's, what is it? Luck is the intersection of talent and opportunity. Like, you can be super talented, but you gotta have the right opportunities, the right networking for things to work. Yeah. Survivor bias gets you in trouble really easily, for sure. He's right here. Preparation. I consider them to be similar concepts.
Thunder! See ya!
Come on, Pooh. Right. Survivor bias is really dangerous. That's awesome, Kai Mom. That's where it's at. Yeah, I wish I could have gone to college. It's not a major regret because I like the person who I am right now, right? That's a product of my experiences up to this point, which include not attending college, but if it had been free, I would have done it for sure. Hello, Piglet. Yeah, right. That's basically academia, right? Especially STEM academia. You get paid to go to grad school. And some people ride that out for a long time. Oh no, Sky Corpus. Fortunately, colleges aren't like Amazon. You can't just call them up after that happens and ask for a refund. Oh, for sure. Now, that was one of my options when I got laid off at Chase. And Andrea only had like 6 months left in her assignment, so it didn't really make sense for me to find a job, only to lose it immediately in California. She was like, well, whatever you wanted to do. Do you want to take this opportunity to go to school? I was like, at this point I could probably get a testing project management job just based on my experience. I'd rather try something cray-cray. Good job getting down here, motherfucker. It was harsh, I see. I think it's a field thing more than a school thing, Chaos. If you're in physics, for example, grad schools pretty universally pay a stipend. How do I get to Rue? I think same for engineering, because you're working for them too. You're producing research that becomes their property that they can patent. How does one get to Rue? Oh, sure. I gotcha. Depends on the grad schools and, like, depends on what you're going for, the field you've chosen. I have no idea how to get up to him. Rue. Okay, so you gotta bring Pooh over there and he'll drop down. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's 100% the case, Saki. It's a huge problem in physics where it's like, well, I got hazed, so everyone else should have to get hazed too. I dealt with it, so now's my chance to make you deal with it. It's like, what the hell? I feel like the attitude should be, this was sucky for me, I don't want anyone to ever experience this again. I mean, I'm kind of getting it, like, when it comes to helping Kat and Donovan raise Jaden and Cameron, like, Kat and Donovan had a pretty rough childhoods. I had a pretty rough childhood in some ways, not from like a bad parenting perspective or from a being raised poor perspective, but being raised poor gave me a lot of financial sense and perspective as an adult that I wouldn't have if I had been raised privileged, right? And it's like, do you intentionally raise your kid and turn the power off every now and then?
When I was all alone.
Oh, Piglet, you gotta be brave.
You weren't lonely at all?
Lonely? Are you kidding? I'm a Tigger.
Godspeed,
The most wonderful
Corvus.
thing about Tiggers is I'm the only one. But I do admit, friends are awfully fun too. Sink, sink, sink.
Hey, Pooh. What are you thinking about now?
Oh, well, I'm just thinking about what to think about.
Well, I'm off.
Nice, Yukipo. Is that looking good so far?
Where are you going?
I'm gonna go look for my friends. They're waiting for me.
They're like literally right outside the book.
I hope you find your friends.
Oh, I could hear that, Aki. That can be really rough, Corvus.
Sora, don't forget.
Trip you up really easily too, out of nowhere.
If you'd like to visit again, that is.
Nope, I got all the items I need from you, Pooh and company. I'm never coming back. This is a nice touch that the keyhole is on the front of the book. Yay! We didn't necessarily need to lock that place though, because the Heartless weren't there. They should do a Winnie the Pooh world that's infested with Heartless in the next game. They all join you as combat characters in one level or another. Yeah, exactly, Kaimon. Like, it being tough, I attribute pretty directly to me being a good person and being happy with who I am. And it's like, I don't want to intentionally make my children's lives miserable so that they'll be good people when they grow up. But part of the problem is it's really easy to go like, oh, well, I had this, this, and this happen, so that's clearly what makes a good adult. So every kid should be raised in exactly the same soup pot with the same ingredients and the same temperature as I was. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Corvus. There's a quote from Bruce Almighty. Can't paint a beautiful picture without using some dark colors. It's very challenging. I think you see it as a generational cycle. You see a generation suffers, so they do everything in their power to keep their kids from suffering in the same way. That generation grows up a little bit more entitled, screws things up for the next generation, which grows up suffering, and then they raise their kids, and so on. I don't know if that's just a modern cycle of humanity, if it's not real. The core question is, how do you instill values that really feel like they can be instilled only through experience? I think video games help with that, actually, as silly as it sounds. I talked about that in my Rotary talk, that when you play a video game, it can let you simulate a lot of these experiences with simulated consequences in a way that you don't really have when you watch a movie or you read a book. Hey, Serp, how you doing? Alright, let's start exploring the other towns. I think I still have to do that, right? What does Jiminy say? I'd like to farm for some loot. Zipper quest goes well. Right. Yeah, exactly, Aki. Yeah, I wonder to what extent that's really what it is, Kaimam. I wonder that too, like, am I really a good person because my life sucked, or am I just trying to, like, justify having sucky parts of my life up till now? Guess we gotta go to Neverland first. Strauss Howe generational theory? Synthetic experience. Wargaming, we know a couple of physicists that have basically gone into that. Can accomplish a lot through simulation. I think I have to quit my new gummy ship thing to progress here. Let me check. Oh, I think I have to go back to Sid to have him install it, of course. I've definitely had games that have allowed me to experience something that will probably or hopefully never happen to me in a way that feels visceral because of the simulated consequences. Like, I've never had a very close family member, let alone a child, with cancer, but that dragon cancer does a really good job of simulating that experience through the way it forces you to disconnect with it at the end of the game. Like, it'll make you feel something even if you personally haven't struggled with it to that point. And I guess art has generally achieved exposing people to things that they otherwise probably wouldn't run into in their normal lives through movies and books. Like, I feel like a lot of the general Western culture turning around on gay rights has had a lot to do with Hollywood and TV shows and movies showing gay characters, realistic gay characters, to people that have never really met gay people, and making them realize that being prejudiced towards people like this isn't reasonable, and you're just human beings, you know? I think games are uniquely suited to do an even better job of that. Thanks, Sid. But it's like we're only just now seeing video games that have been made by people that grew up playing video games. We're only just now starting to see games really mature. Be worth visiting some places again. Guess I can see if there's anything new at the Olympus Coliseum. I did watch it, Serp. I was cracking up that I have no idea what the hell he's talking about in the hardcore Kingdom Hearts fan part. Who the hell is Aqua? What is a Nord? Oh no. I was really glad I got to do that Rotary talk. A bunch of people in their 50s and 60s who are pretty anti-gaming. I think I really turned them around. They all came up and asked me some really good questions afterward. If you haven't seen that, it's on YouTube. If anyone's interested in seeing how I tried to sell video games to a bunch of older people. Sometimes inflicts massive damage. Alright, I don't like the MP down. Donald sucks anyway. Take the chance for massive damage, I guess. Let me look at that Trinity list here. But I got a lot of people come up to me and they're like, wow, I never thought of it like that. Godspeed, come on. Very good. I know, right, sir? Like, that's a useful experiment to try to take everything to its extreme. I don't know, though, like, stuff like that Elsagate shit makes me worry that there's no content that people won't watch. I guess Elsagate's a different thing entirely, because that's like babies, but... He fainted? Are you sure it wasn't a parody? That sounds way too... Oh my god. Once extremes are normalized, new extremes emerge. Yeah, I hear that. Wow. It's not satire. Yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to bear to watch it. I'm kind of frustrated with the adoption of the word cringe. Cringe is a very specific meaning to me, and it's that butterflies in your stomach. Oh god, it hurts to watch this because I feel shame for this other person, right? This is, I'm embarrassed for them, basically. And usually it won't happen if I know someone's self-aware, like... It's not cringe. Friend shaman, yeah. Shame for a stranger. The opposite of Schadenfreude. Just gonna try to run through all the zones here and see if we can find some of the upgrades we need. Alright, so these magic guys still spawn in Wonderland. That's good to know. I was worried I wouldn't be able to get shards anymore. Really? Donald, did you just cast stop? Why are you the way that you choose to be? I've used cringe. I've seen the word cringe used on the internet to mean I don't like this. This is so cringe. That's right, Matt. Donald and Goofy. They're really good at saying "Heil" over and over, and you can't deny that. If that's your standard for, like, AI. Anything they don't like or associated with being a loser, yeah. So, like, I don't know, if I'm like, I really like Dungeons and Dragons, like, wow, that's so cringe. It's like, no. Yeah. You're fortunate, Ikupo. Yeah, I try to make sure they never have any of my items. They are trash. I think even on Reddit at this point, it's something the kids say, because like if you say it on Reddit, someone will inevitably comment back to you and say, oh my god, stop saying cringe that way, that's not what that means, you moron, right? Everything you dislike isn't cringe. Maybe. I've exclusively used it though to mean like I am legit worried for this person, I'm concerned for them, I want their suffering to end. But I think it's being used now in the sense of like I am delighting in the suffering or failure of this person. Yeah. It's too good of a simulation, Serp. Cringe is Gucci lit, fam. Reddit's a convenient shorthand way to kind of get the general sense of the internet hive mind's opinion on things. Like, I get really frustrated when the entire hive mind is wrong about something. Generally, if you go down a certain number of comment threads, you'll find someone who's being reasonable, but sometimes it can take a really long time to get there. I thought I could get there with the high jump. I don't think there's any more progression upgrades in this game, right? How do I get to these? There's like 4 chests in here. Once I access one of them, I can get to the rest of them. Yeah. Am I out of touch? No, it's children who are around. There's really any other trinities for me to get here, huh? This zone's super confusing anyway, so who knows. So there's one fundamental thing about Reddit that really frustrates me, and it's that there's a lot of threads that are built around interaction and like commenters sharing their stories, but if you're a normal person that consumes Reddit by waiting for a post to be highly upvoted before you interact with it, it is already too late to interact with it. Because only the people who were following it when it was in the new posts on that subreddit matter. Even if their content is fairly low effort, like, it doesn't matter. They got there first, so they've had a snowballing effect in upvotes. You can try to get away with it, get around it sometimes by, like, sorting by new yourself, but... dramatic irony that carries for too long. Yeah, I get that too. It makes it so I can't keep watching movies sometimes. I get too stressed out. It's like, oh my god. All you guys need to do is talk, and this problem is resolved. We don't need an Act 3. Because eventually you're going to get an opportunity to talk after an hour, after like 45 minutes of drama, and then it will just be fixed. Yeah, the regurgitation thing is... I think it happens... It's because ideas are very similar to organisms, right? Like, they evolve and thrive and succeed or fail according to very similar rules. An idea that's pretty low effort, easy to understand, easy to share, easy to adopt, is much more likely to survive and continue to be spread than one that requires a little bit of extra thought to wrap your head around. And I think that on Reddit in particular, these lower effort, easy ideas, you know, you also get a bonus for being familiar sometimes. And I don't say that to say that I or anyone here is immune to that effect. Like, sometimes you don't have time to engage with a topic as much as you'd like, so you try to seek out the TLDR, right? And if it meets those criteria of being easy to understand, doesn't require a lot of extra steps, sometimes I'll just accept it. I know that evolutionary psychology is kind of a shithole field full of a bunch of bullshit that's not real. But at some point you have to imagine, like, what are human brains evolved to be able to, like, handle, really consider, and what kind of questions are we being asked to consider now as a modern evolved society? It's the inability to have compassion for large groups of people is just something that I don't think is a fault of any one human. It's just that our brains would melt. We would die of shock if we could feel 30,000 times the pain of a close relative dying if we heard on the news that 30,000 people died in a tragic accident in another country. Like, we just don't have the emotional capacity to process that. It doesn't mean anything.
Thunder! Thunder!
Oh, they absorb lightning? Rude. Yeah, I learned that last session. No, for sure. Empathy is hard to live with. Like, it's easier to just judge somebody and say, well, they're a jerk. Like, taking that extra step to be like, no, it's not necessarily their fault. Let me feel for them and try to imagine what it would be like to be in their situation. That consumes mental energy. And if you don't have mental energy to spare, if you're concerned with a lot more primal needs, like food and shelter, like, of course you don't have time to have empathy for people. That was incorrect. This is a shell game. I need to zoom out more so I can see where they are. Lightning stones, sweet, I need those. Why do I even do this? I think it was the far right. Nope. May have been the one to the right. You're working 80 hours a week? Yeah. Can't believe I got that one right. guy is new to Final Mix. Nope. Wrong again. Oh well, I got a lightning stone, I need one of those. Yeah, I hear you, Corvus. Right, Aki. Yeah, it's very stressful. I think it's easier to just demonize somebody when you disagree with them. I know I've done it. I'm like, well, they're just an idiot, you know? There's no saving them. I know Andrea's had a pretty tight policy of if someone becomes toxic in her life, she just kind of cuts them out, unfriends them on Facebook, and stops interacting with them, right? She doesn't have the mental bandwidth to assign to it. It makes me feel bad for people who get left behind like that and maybe need someone that's rational to stick by them, help them out. But I also totally get it. I can't really fault Andrea for doing that. Alright, let's see. Can we find any more Trinity symbols? I don't know if there are actually any in the jungle. Trinity detect, jungle in front of the keyhole. It's just an orichalcum, so it's not terribly important. Mithril shard. I might want that one. Getting back to treetop sucks. I'm gonna get out of this zone. I think that deep jungle is my least favorite zone in this whole game. I think I like it less than Monstro. It's Monstro, at least the individual rooms are small enough that it's not quite so easy to get lost. Don't need an orichalcum for now, but I'll try to remember that it's there for later. Yeah, the treetop section, it's very difficult to understand where the game wants you to go. It all looks very samey. There's parts where you have to drop down, and like you don't know where dropping is taking you either. I'm glad that the estate of who wrote Tarzan? Is it also Edgar Rice Burroughs? Refused to give them rights again for this game. Key. No key in Monstro. Key. Okay, so I've wrapped up locking everybody up. Check Agrabah, maybe. I guess there's a power up and an AP up there. That could be good. Ifrit build, Final Mix. Kidding. I'm trying to use all the Trinities. Specifically trying to get a bunch of ingredients to get better gear for the end game so it moves a little bit more smoothly. But I have a feeling it's not going to run that smoothly. Part of the Kingdom Hearts experience. Yeah. I think that Carpet takes you to fight Kurt Zisa. So, optional Heartless boss that's really hard. Not gonna beat him on this playthrough. Salty runaround. Oh, yeah. Go revisit all the areas. There's ways to do it in a way that's not annoying, I think. You can really find a way to get true extra value from the zone. like, the Skyward Sword one has a lot of problems for other reasons. I'll try to have to fight things before I can move.
Thunder! 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 Here!
Might be almost time for me to say screw the magic build. I don't really have a choice though, because I invested against it. I might be far enough along in the game now that I could just change my abilities over though and try to move for a more aerial focus. I'll try it after this fight. Maybe if I get some new abilities or another magic-oriented Keyblade, I'll change my mind. So many assholes. Right. Right, yeah, it's like the player knows what you're doing. Yeah, it's an interesting problem in game design. Recognizing that the player sees the matrix, you know? You can try to write for it, but it still feels awkward. I don't know what the solution is there. You can do stuff where you subvert the expectation. You make them think they're going to revisit every world, and then something crazy happens at the second one. But the answer isn't always subversion either. Sometimes it's okay for the player to correctly identify who, it's like watching a horror movie and being savvy about cinematography and knowing that, oh, because of this camera angle, I know that there's a jump scare coming up. They heal from all magic, shit.
See ya.
Oh, Gravira is actually pretty good. Maybe I should use that more. Yeah. Alien Isolation does that a lot, you're right. I was like, oh, okay, oh wait, nope, I don't get it. Never mind. Having the alien generally not be authored. I still can't believe that worked. Like, the number of times that I've played games that have generated content or AI-driven content where it actually improves the experience over authored content is very low. But for a horror game, it's perfect. I almost always prefer authored experiences to player-directed ones. That was not worth it, but okay. Guess extra XP is never gonna hurt. Alright, let's try changing the build up, just for funsies. Maybe we want Metal Chocobo? Maybe not, actually. Olympia, I guess. Oh, actually, let's try Oathkeeper. It can crit, and it raises max magic. And it still keeps my MP up. I forgot to check that after I talked to Kairi, and she was like, Sora, I want to go with you. And he's like, no, I don't have a good reason to tell you no. She's like, alright, well, at least take this weird papercraft thing I made that coincidentally is a super powerful Keyblade. It's not, the Keyblade is just the Keyblade, it's one thing, and then you get a keychain that enhances the Keyblade? Is that how that's supposed to work? I don't know if they ever went back and decided how Keyblades work, or if they were explicit about it in this game. I'm just a dummy and didn't know. Oops, wrong way. Storage room, I'm thinking I might actually be in the Cave of Wonders. The Trinity that I'm looking for here. Right, I have to murder everything first. Dark matter, cool. Hearts 1. Started having a lot of different Keyblades pretty quickly. Keyblade is a prism of the hearts, those lost to the darkness. You could easily do a 30-minute cutscene about it. I'm dreading watching that video that Cert mentioned. Like, someone out there who just doesn't in their heart of hearts know that these games are dumb. They're fun, I enjoy them very much. Ooh, XP ring. When did this happen? I don't even remember finding this, but I need it, so that's great. What does the Ifrit belt do? Fire damage by 40%, raises strength. I think they still need their other buffs. I wonder if that stacks with the other upgrade that I have that increases my XP from parrying. That would be nice. Oh, shit. Thanks, Donald. Wow. Donald did something that wasn't useless for once. What crazy world are we living in right now? It's a pretty significant XP boost. I'll take it. Blaze gem. Cool, I needed those. There's a lot of chests in the game that I'm trying to pick up too by revisiting all these zones. Which summon spawns a shitload of magic? Is it Bambi? I don't remember where you get it. Thought I'd have it by now. Had it into a 30-hour game. Goofy just got MP haste. I feel like enemies being temporarily invincible is not great design for a game like Kingdom Hearts. It works in some games. Kingdom Hearts is very much keep pressing X until everything dies the game. Square root keyblade. It's pronounced Radical Kai. What's up, this?
Come on. Come on.
I'm gonna do a tour and get a bunch of the remaining Dalmatians. Yeah. I remember seeing Kingdom Hearts 2.8 final prologue or whatever the fuck at PAX and cracking up about it, but still coming out of it feeling like I had a pretty good sense of what that was. Like, okay, it's another re-release of Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Mix Prologue, whatever the hell it's called, does not contain Kingdom Hearts 2 at all, it turns out. I think it's Birth by Sleep in a bunch of movies, maybe? It's really funny. I was laughing about it thinking I understood. I'm like, oh, okay. Look how stupid this is. 2.8, really? I wonder if the Japanese consumers have a similar level of, like... Disdain's the wrong word. If they make fun of Tetsuya Nomura for doing it, or if they think it's super awesome. Oh man, this is so cool. Fabula Nova Crystallis. Whatever the hell. I just hope that Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden 2 comes out so we can finally get a real high-quality parody of this kind of thing, of the Zipper Opera. Fabulous exploding star crystals. 30 minutes, it explains the plot. Oh, I'll have to check that out. Maybe we'll do that in lieu of watching all the 4-hour movies when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. I'm still debating whether I want to do an early stream of Kingdom Hearts 3 because I'm pretty hyped about it, but I won't play it without streaming it, obviously. Maybe I'll give everybody a couple weeks to beat it, so I'm not that excited that I need to play it on launch week. It's not like Breath of the Wild. Caught up in this. Some lore on the origin of basketball. Oh my god, I just want to open a chest game. I don't want to fight the entire minions of hell right now. Just one chest, and then I'll leave you alone. I may as well just start summoning people. What's up, Dan Castellano? Homer Simpson. Ow. Wow, so in the time that I was summoning, my arrow spell wore off. I almost died immediately because of it. Okay, so how do I get Genie to do shit? Kinda seems like he just follow me around. I have to press Showtime, okay. This may leave a mark. Right. Trinity, please. What are you guys freaking out about? There's nothing here. Donald, get your shit together. There we go. Whew. This is a being known as Ansem. A piece of Xehanort's future self traveled back in time. What the fuck? Who's Zemnis? Alright, that's not terribly great. This is where I'll go to get out of here later. I'm pretty sure that all of the Organization 13 shit was, like, totally made up after Kingdom Hearts 1. I mean, there's the secret ending you can get with in this game with the guy in the zipper costume, but, like, there's no way they had any idea what they intended to do with that when they added it. I don't buy it. Wouldn't it be cool to have another weird guy with a keyblade? Except that it's silly and go with the flow, yeah. I would just appreciate at this point someone somewhere in the games acknowledging that it's dumb. Like, I praise Japan a lot for being very sincere, for tackling fundamentally absurd, ridiculous plot elements and notions with complete sincerity, but Kingdom Hearts isn't just sincere, it takes itself really seriously. Like, it's putting out a really important work. It's going to change people's lives. God. Okay. I don't know what that means at all. One sec, Andrea's calling. Andrew's been working on this for a while. Basically, they wanted a bunch of people to get together and do a presentation, a no longer than 3-minute presentation about something in science that they work on. And it turns out 3 minutes is a really short period of time. It's kind of hard to give a cohesive presentation in that period. Also, they're not kidding about that. Like, they will ring a little timer if you go over time and just stop you and skip to the next person. So she's been working on it for a while. We've been helping her tune it here. She hasn't recorded it for YouTube yet, but she went up against, I want to say, 10 to 20 other people who work at the lab that are all doing Science in 3 presentations. And the first one she went to when they were like doing qualifying, they wanted to wait to admit people to it until after they'd done like a first round to make sure no one just had a really bad presentation. But she saw everybody else's presentations and she was like, wow, these are like way higher level, lower level. People use those differently. These are way more detailed than mine. Mine is kind of targeted for lay people and these are sort of targeted for people who work at the lab. Maybe I did this incorrectly. But she just won. Her presentation was the best, as judged by a New Mexico state judge, like an actual court judge, a couple TV personalities from the area, mostly lay people, basically no scientists. So super exciting. When we see her on stream, say congratulations or congratulate her on Discord. She's actually had some pretty frustrating stuff happen at work lately. Just kind of shitty stuff that was happening before when she was getting really badly triggered with her bipolar disorder. Someone would say something very critical at work and it would wreck her for a couple weeks. And she's been handling it really well. It's not really a big deal and she's going to find a way around it. So, I mean, she's doing it a lot better and this will be a really good boost for her confidence. Pretty stoked about it. Yeah, go Andrea. The comment recently is that she has to do more impressive work to get converted to a permanent employee at the lab. She's still technically on a temporary assignment, but just kind of operating on the assumption that she'll get converted. So I joked with her, hey, there you go. Show them your certificate that you won the Science in 3 competition. That means that you can work on weapons research, right? Talk about it to lay people. Don't know if I'm missing any. This is a late enough area that I had almost all of the Trinities by the time I got here, except maybe the white one. I'll look it up on the list here in a second. Just assume you're gonna get converted, basically. If you don't, that would be a bummer. Can't really get away with any other assumption. Trinity detect. Halloween Town. XP ring's pretty significant. I'm digging it. I don't think I can give it to allies though. They don't matter. Sora is the only character that matters. There's so many encounters in this game that don't let you use Donald and Goofy. And they're trash anyway. I think I can still get one more source of Lucky Strike on Sora, which is kind of what I'm looking forward to right now. Yeah. Imposter Syndrome's really bad. Andrea has it really, really bad. I think she's gotten over it a bit more since she turned 30. Because just being so aware of it and how it affects so many other people. But I really love that the shadows have a slightly different texture in Halloween Town. It's a cool effect. Alright, there is one in Halloween Town. It's in the hill over here. So I probably have to kill a bajillion enemies that are going to spawn there. Apparently they moved around all of the Trinity chests in Final Mix for some reason. Broken second overall.
Thunder! Here! Thunder! Here!
Man, I went from like practically one-shotting enemies with Thundara to doing nothing. The game must be balanced now around Thundaga. Does anyone know when you get Thundaga or how you get Thundaga? I thought you got a bunch of elements from doing the late Colosseum stuff. Whatever came over here. Scissors. Bunch of gummy pieces, oh boy. I got some Dalmatians, that's not a waste. I think the Dalmatian rewards start to get pretty good after 50. They're just kind of useless up until then. There should be a White Trinity here. This is Moonlight Hill, isn't it? There it is.
Thunder! Come on!
Ouch. I think I got a Lucid Gem, which I needed as a crafting material for something. I need to figure out where I can get the elemental gems and stones, because that's mostly what's holding me back from the crafting meter. Pull up a FAQ here in a second and see if I can figure out where the game wants me to go for them. Doing the generous after defeating Cerberus in the Hades Cup, which I haven't unlocked yet. Okay. No, the Hades Cup I think unlocks after you go to the final zone and leave. Thank you for checking. Thought it was accessible now. Maybe I'll just go progress the story in Hollow Bastion and try to trigger that as soon as possible.
Here! Thunder! 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 Thunder!
You guys suck, you know that? You really do. You really are the worst. There's a dark matter in Monstro, so Orichalcum. Okay, so I've got about 15 more Dalmatians to turn in. That's nice. I might be able to craft something now, although I might be like an item short of it. I need to go look up a full item list here. Come on. Kingdom Hearts item guide. I don't know why, but Google really does not favor game FAQs in their search results. They really favor IGN pages with a bunch of images. It's probably like because they break the page into 7 or 8 different links, which all link to each other. Probably helps with the search engine optimization. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I've always played this game as an aggressive completionist, so I've just fully explored every area. Oh, nice. Well, in that case, I might actually try to get all of them. It won't take terribly long. I think, what are the other requirements for getting the best ending? Save all the Dalmatians. Unlock all the keyholes. Maybe one other thing. That wouldn't be too bad. Kingdom Hearts item list. Alright, we're gonna pop back to Traverse Town real fast. I hate these HTML guides. Gargoyle, White Knight, Bandit, Fat Bandit, White Mushroom, Blue Rhapsody. What about the elemental stones? Oh, that's why I can't find them. They're new to Final Mix. Item weapon guide. Stone. Oh, don't give me all the names in Japanese. I don't need that. Man. Some of these game FAQs, folks, just, they take it real seriously. Workshop guide, that might be what I want, actually. It tells me where I can find the constituent items. Alright, Dark Ring, I think we can make because of that Lucid Gem. Should unlock at least one new recipe. Oh, not yet. Alright, so need a Mithril Stone. Maybe. It's a pretty late FAQ though. There were like already 2 or 3 other item FAQs. No, this wasn't for Final Mix. I was looking at the original Kingdom Hearts. I could see that being the case though. It would be fair. Shouldn't be too judgmental of Kingdom Hearts fans. I took off MP Gift. What's wrong with me? Okay, we wanted to see what the Dark Ring does really fast. It sucks. Good to know. Total items needed. Oh, perfect. Okay. So, Blazing Stone is Chimera, which is in Halloween Town only. Oh god, this is gonna be a bit of a trip. Alright, let me make a list here. So we need 1 Fury Stone, 1 Power Stone, 1 Mithril Stone, 1 Serenity Power. What the hell that is? 1 Frost Gem, 2 Thunder Gems. Is a mobile Kingdom Hearts? Provides backstory for the whole series? Oh my god. Yeah, I know, right? And expect you to play all the offshoot games and not like offer many of those games across multiple systems. Probably gonna need Mithril. 3 Spirit Gem, 2 Fury Stones, Power Shards. That might just be regular shadows. And then 1 Mithril Stone. So Fury Stone is Gyga's Shadow. I think are the big round ball enemies. Power Stone is Sniper Wild in Traverse Town. I don't know which enemy that is. Can anyone Google Sniper Wild and tell me what it looks like? I don't recognize that enemy name. I don't think it ever tells you. Traverse. Mithril Stone, which I actually need 2. Oh, I'm spreadsheeting. It's a monkey? Is it the girl monkey? Hot Scorpion. Serenity Power. Pink Agaricus. Deep Jungle Atlantica. Ucky. Frost Gem. Sea Neon. Sheltering Zone. It's in Atlantica. Thunder Gems. Aqua Tank. Screwdriver. Rare Monkey. Oh yeah. I think I know which one those are. Blazing Stone. Chimera. Town. Froststone, Rain Ghost, This isn't gonna help with the end game. Like, I feel like if I spend an hour or so farming, it's gonna help me not have to restart boss battles over and over later on, especially with my kind of Gimp Mage build. Air Soldier. Air Soldier is the dragon-looking thing? Is that right? Power Shard, Bouncy Wild, Power Wild. I guess those are also the monkeys. And Power Stone is... Alright, spreadsheet time. Let's do this. Let's do this like Brutus. So what I mean needs clarification. Don't let them see you doesn't cover. If they do see you, they'll keep spawning endlessly. Killing them is useless. You're not getting experience and one-drop items. No, it's... Ugh. It's gross, Spiky. Yuck. Right, so they did not just spawn, but these enemies do spawn the thing that I need. Wait, do I have to one-shot them then? Is there like a ability I have to use? Warrants a whole guide for farming it. No kidding. Let me try pulling it up on my laptops. Chrome doesn't kill OBS here. Thank you for looking it up, I appreciate it. What level am I? I get one more level, I think I get Lucky Strike, which I'm pretty close to, so may as well keep this up for now.
Thunder! Thunder! Thunder!
You guys are booty butts jerk faces, you know that? All of you. I think we said Sora gets Lucky Strike at 48. I don't think I'm making that up. Hey! Just remember to equip it, since we can't equip in combat. Resemble the Bouncy Wild Heartless, the coloration's a little bit darker, purple rather than pink. On the 2nd District of Traverse Town. Let me emphasize that again. If they see you, there is no reason to stay and fight them. Get to the nearest exit ASAP.
Come on! Thunder!
Some power grab. Elixirs are not what I need, although I guess I'll take one. I had to use a couple in earlier fights. I think it's a final mix only enemy. With the Professor 6, you start over with 1, then 2, and 3. Enter from the 1st district. No Heartless appears inside. No sniper round must be around. Head towards the hotel. Get to a point where I can lock onto the sniper wild. Charge it and cast stop as soon as possible. You should have time to cast stop before it calls for reinforcements. Whack it a few times. 2 more will appear in the same area. Stop both with 1 casting. I don't think we're all the way upgraded on stop. I think we have to get stop go still. Reinforcements. So, like, something about Kingdom Hearts that's always bugged me is the inability to manage your inventory when combat's in effect in open chests, and it gets worse the more enemies are spawning in a zone. Like, it doesn't feel good. Abilities, Sora... Lucky Strike. Get hype. Okay. So what I don't know is how I can force a respawn on this map. How many screens I have to move away. I'm gonna go start working on another enemy that drops stuff I need, but could someone do me the favor of Googling how enemy spawns work in Kingdom Hearts? How many screens I have to move away to trigger a respawn? Super Reinforcement Wars. Gotta get the sound effect from Strong Bad Email. Cheat Commandos. Reinforcements! Okay, I need Fury Stones. Let's just go down the list here. Mithril Stones I need and can immediately craft something with, so why don't we do that first? Also, pot scorpions are really easy to find and kill. 3-room transitions? Okay. So, to farm that thing, I probably just need to leave Traverse Town and come back. Oh, that's gross. Yuck. I actually made things worse in the final mix, I feel like. What else is an Agrabah, or is this the only thing? Maybe I'll try to knock everything out while I'm here. +30 reinforcements? No kidding. That's nutty. Yeah, can you do ABC, ABC though? Okay. But it doesn't count transitions between 2 different rooms. Thanks for checking that. I was actually about to ask how that works. These guys have blazing gems, but I'm pretty set on those. Figure out which of these rooms has the most hot scorpions. Oh my god. Thank you, Donald. Jeez, buddy. If I had the AI option, I'd just tell Donald, only ever use your MP to heal me. There is no other purpose. Alright, well I've got 3 stacks of Lucky Strike. We've killed 5 of these pot enemies already, and no drops yet. I think that's the most possible stacks of Lucky Strike I can have. Maybe there's an item I can get that gives me more. Like an accessory. I don't remember if these guys spawn in the Cave of Wonders or not. I did need spirit shards. Oh. Oh, I see. That's cute. Wait, is that the actual pot scorpion? The things I were fighting earlier, not the same thing? I don't remember this enemy. It doesn't seem to want to take any damage. Magic doesn't work. Stop doesn't work. Wait, so how does he work? What's his deal? I don't seem to be able to damage him at all. This is a new final mix enemy. Yeah. Great. Really quick. Hearts, pot scorpion. I'll just accept the tip here. You guys can beat me to Googling it. New enemy and final mix. Break as many of the empty pots as possible before awakening the pot scorpion. Empty pots may identify by attempting to push them. Empty pots will be movable and drop money, increase tech points. Okay. Until its attacks are blocked? Wait, so I need to have the, I need to have guard equipped to block it? No kidding. So it has to actually be block. It can't be like arrow triggering, I guess. I have roll, but I can't roll. Come on, dude. No, I think I need to pop out of here. If you could parry it, that would be fine. Wow, thanks for telling me. I would not have ever figured that out otherwise. God. And he's the only source of mithril stones in the game, it looks like. I wonder why. It's like they made crafting more complicated. They just added more things that you needed for every recipe. And most of them appear to be gated around limited time spawn. Starting to think I might not want to actually grind out some of these recipes. I remember having fun with it in the past. Maybe not the way this game is constructed. Alright, gravity is the way to fight these fatsos, turns out. We're trying to make an MMO. Ugh. At least we know if he ever tried, it would never get released. Yeah, I think I've gotten the ultimate weapon every time I played this game, and maybe it's just that I haven't played it in a long time and I don't remember how bad it was, but I'm pretty sure it was not anywhere near as big of a pain to get in the non-Final Mix version. Nope. So much for that. Alright, do I have the AP to equip? Guard? Okay, here we go. The ones I can push are safe to attack. That's the real one. So let's do this slow. $100 tech points, that's nice. It's very janky. Okay. Timing it looks like it's kind of a pain too. That attack or the dash attack? Talk to Bell when I'm back in the library of Hollow Bastion. Okay, thanks. I'll head there soon. Was there like a good Keyblade or something? Sounds familiar. There we go. Oh god, it's gonna take forever to kill him. Alright, well, we won't do it after this. My one mithril stone. I think I needed 2 of them, but... Need a final mix? Okay. Are there any spells that he's weak against when he's on his back? Somebody double check for me. Can I cast Gravera or something to speed this up? I'll wait for him to dash, I think. was early. Someone who basically never uses guard in this game and have to learn mechanics. Maybe I want to be further away from them to increase the chance that I see the attack coming at me. Got it. Okay. It's not so bad if I'm further away from them then. As long as it doesn't knock him into the poison where I can't finish my combo. Alright, well, this will be the last guy we bother doing this on. Too late. Thanks. Oh, Goofy got in my way. Oh, unbelievable. Oh my god, you guys. Now he's aggroing them. Resist all magic but thunder. Okay. So he actually did get knocked down there. Shit. Thanks for looking it up, I appreciate it. I'm probably gonna do more damage with my normal attacks though. Oh my god. Stop attacking them, attack me. Do they have like an aggro ability on or something? Good news and bad news. Sweet. Ooh, 10% chance, so I don't actually have to fight him? Scorpion Sub only has a 35% drop rate. Okay. So we want to try to just get the 10th pot and not bother fighting him, because probably the rate at which we can make that happen is faster than the rate at which we can kill him over and over. It's goofy. I'm glad I put MP gift back on. Yeah, I would say fuck it after that. This might be the most annoying enemy in the game. He's just not fun to fight. I'm trying to think if anything's competitive with it. Especially since he keeps wanting to charge Donald and Goofy, which do not help. They do not like go like... Especially Goofy, who has a shield. You think he'd knock him back occasionally, but no dice. Come on, buddy. There we go. Hopefully that does it. Mithril Stone, Mithril Shard. Thank God. Okay. I think I technically needed 2 of those. I do not want to do another one. Let me go back and see what I needed it for. Just gonna see how easily I can respawn. No, what's the Spellbinder Keyblade? I have to move further out to get him to spawn. So I can force a respawn in a room. Okay. So if I go into a room and the wrong enemy is there, I can try to force a respawn through moving back out and in immediately. But if I actually kill the enemies there, then it doesn't totally respawn unless if I move multiple screens away, I think. I'm just trying to get my last Mithril Stone. I believe I only need 2 total. Check this guide. I need 8 Mithril Stones? No. No, 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 no. Okay. Is it the best magic Keyblade? Yeah, fuck you, Tetsuya Nomura. I was like, well, I need 2 for the ones that are currently on the list. So I'm gonna look at this guide to see how many it says I need total for the whole game. 35% drop chance. Hell to the no. Oh, God damn it. I'm guessing the drop chance is not modified by, like, Lucky Strike or anything like that. If it was a fun battle, it wouldn't be a problem. Maybe when you're endgame and you're hitting it like a truck, but in order to get endgame and hit it like a truck, you need to get these mithril stones so you can craft all the best shit. I think this works, because it worked to spawn these guys, right? I'm still doing the main stories, although I'm trying to farm up a little bit because I picked magic staff and no sword, so some of the fights are taking a long time and I'm trying to get a little bit ahead of the curve, but apparently Final Mix sucks for that. Final Mix added a bunch of stuff that's really frustrating to try to farm. We'll just say screw it. I will end my crafting adventure and we'll get out of here. Lucky Strike still affects the drop rate. Okay. So I could maybe do it just by doing the 10 pots and not fighting the scorpion. I'm gonna go craft the thing that I can craft from that one mithril stone, and then I think we're gonna go to Hollow Bastion and progress the game. I might still consider doing a little bit of farming later, depending. But it seems like Final Mix is kind of a downgrade. It's cool that they added new bosses and stuff, like there was still room to make it more challenging after Sephiroth. What we're asking though is whether Lucky Strike increases the drop rate of mithril stones from when you break the 10th pot in Agrabah. I don't know if that follows the normal drop rules, if it just counts as you killing an enemy. We're not sure about. Upstairs. So I can make this, which I don't really need. How many mithril do I need total? Oh, apparently I do really need it. Something else here required a mithril stone though, right? The XP earring, which I'm significantly more interested in. Now, Serenity Power. I guess if I'm going to craft one thing, it would be that, so that I at least stay above the curve in level, if not in other areas. So Fury Stone is a Gaiga Shadow, so those are easy to farm. Power Stone is... oh no, that's a Sniper Wild. I only need one of them though. Yeah, I've gone for Ultimate Weapon in prior playthroughs of the game that were not Final Mix, and it was actually pretty straightforward as I recall. I remember having to do a little bit of pre-endgame farming, going back to the different zones, collecting shards and gems, but none of this secret enemy that only spawns on a certain screen. That must be him right there. I think that's good enough. I don't know if it counted as seeing me or not. Oh, now it did. Is that little animation? So stop doesn't last very long, does it? Oh, screw this. Wow. Wow. That's... it's impressively bad. Like, I feel like most of the Final Mix equivalent, like international version, extended release versions of games tend to make the endgame farming experience less brutal. Like they add new enemies that drop everything, or maybe new items that increase the drop rate. That is a major minus in the Kingdom Hearts column for me. I don't know why they would do that. If it was like an all-new endgame grind for items that didn't exist previously, that'd be one thing, but it's the same path to getting an ultimate weapon. Too bad. I think I have to manually travel to the warp point near Neverland. Maybe not. Is it this one, maybe? Oh, it must be that one. My bad. I think that's the way to go back around to get back to Hollow Bastion. Max MP +2 for length of duration. Wow. Okay, so my max MP is already pretty high. Said Spellbinders by talking to Merlin. I'll just do it real fast and get out of the way. I think I can pop into his room really easily. We'll see if I keep using the mage build. It might be high enough level now that I'm starting to get the non-mage related abilities and stat bonuses. I can get away with doing something different. Thanks. Max MP by 2 and significantly enhances magic and summon power. Try it. The damage on it's pretty weak. The extra max MP should help. We'll see what enemy damage looks like with it equipped. I think this is the last warp hole in the game, I want to say. This is Alexander's. Max MP's 18 with Diamond Dust. Where do you get Diamond Dust? A massive brick of weapons, I know, right? I might play around with Gummy Ship more in Kingdom Hearts 2 when we get to it, we'll see. Ice Titan's not too hard, provided that you don't cast Arrow, right? The first time I played this, I invested in making my Gummy Ship as badass as possible. I remember Sephiroth's Keyblade. I've fought Sephiroth basically every time I've played Kingdom Hearts. This might be the first time that I don't, just when my build's kind of inefficient and I'm not able to really farm for it effectively because of the way they change farming in Final Mix. That's okay though, we don't need to beat him. It might be nice to just attempt him once. I remember Ice Titan being a more of a endurance thing than actually being terribly hard. Or Sephiroth is a screw up once and you're gonna have a bad time kind of fight. Level 80. Yeah. What level should you be to fight Ice Titan? Is there like an online recommendation for that? I think I'm 48 right now. I have one source of bonus XP. White Trinity. Yeah. Maybe off stream sometime. I mean, I'd like to do. I like fighting hard super bosses in Kingdom Hearts games. It's a fun experience. But farming in this game is definitely a downgrade. Am I at right now 12 MP? $65.70. Okay, that might happen on our way into the final zone. I think we get there from here-ish. Let's see how much of a damage buff Spellbinder or whatever it is.
Thunder!
Still not one-shotting these guys. That's not a good sign. Oh, Sora! You're the worst. Yeah, I'm already having a damage issue just from my build. I never tried doing a magic build before, and I was like, maybe it'll be good. I think Oathkeeper might actually be better, although this one has a higher max MP. So.
Thunder! Thunder! Come on!
I think I did midday experience route, so what's that, like, level 40 to 60 or something? The one for Belle? Alright, we'll talk to her here in a sec. She's just up here. It doesn't help that I have these enemies that are taking me out in one shot. Oh, I thought midday was middle levels level up faster, but that makes sense.
Oh, Belle.
Darkness is raging inside. Oh, really? Night overall takes less time to reach 100? Interesting, but it's very slow up until then, presumably. Well, it seems like night's the correct choice, because just enemy XP will start to outpace the time it takes, I assume. Give me a Keyblade. Fine Rose. Difficult to deflect. Yeah, I'll give it a try. You leaving? You'll have to get the disc out of the Xbox and put it in there. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I know, right? Let me try redoing all my abilities and leaving out magic. So let's do... Let's see, what do we want to dump? Ripple Drive. Let's do all the combo plus upgrades. No finisher. Guess I'll take this as a finisher for now. I'll move stuff around later. Oh, that's pretty significant. It's like 1,000 kills. Aerial combos pop out so much faster too. Oh yeah, it feels a lot better. Alright, we will not make the same mistake in Kingdom Hearts 2. I think it has a similar choice, doesn't it? It's been a while since I played it. Grinding to 100 on Destiny Island. Wow. Shrimp tech points. Yeah, I was going to try to get the EXP earring, but I need to get a power stone for it, which requires that I fight the sniper wild thing in Traverse Town that I have to stop before it sees me and then do a shitload of burst damage to blow up. Ours. Oh, magic's the way to go in a Kingdom Hearts 2 speedrun? No kidding. Maybe it's just this one that it's bad in. I guess if you can spam thunder, just blow up all the enemies as you walk in. Sure. Still interesting to know if that's the case. Thanks, Goofy. Keep throwing me your MP all day. I'll take it. Finish him off, one of y'all. I can't get him. Oh yeah, the special magic form. Right. Oh, maybe we'll try it then if it's good. Oh wow. Did they pull it off? Shit, that guy dropped loot that I probably needed. Tens of thousands of hours of grinding. Good god. This just gets me loot that's over here, and that's it. Do they automate any part of it? I imagine that breaks down pretty quickly. Like, as soon as you find a way to make it easier, you start to question, why don't you just use a cheat code, right? Try Oathkeeper for a while, just for the MP boost. Well, see if Spellbinder actually helped me. It might have been that I was fighting enemies that had a large resistance to damage. Magic damage, I should say. Macro and speed boost. That's funny. Oh, I forgot about PH2 having Reflect. How does it work in that game? Wins you the game. Bravely default. Magical parry. Oh, I see. Take no damage and deal a ton to them. Actually, that sounds really familiar. I think I remember doing that for... I forget who the super bosses were in Kingdom Hearts 2 other than Sephiroth. I actually fought Kingdom Hearts 2 Sephiroth slightly more recently because Andrea had a save file where she hadn't beaten him around the time we started dating. So it would have been like 8 years ago? Slightly more recently. Yeah, I fought him 8 years ago. Alright, keep going this way. Or not. Just I guess. Oh, Bastion's still my favorite theme in the game. Just very good. Oh, I'm having trouble picking here. Divine Rose is much higher strength. Let's see, Ifrit Belt, pretty big strength increase. We gotta keep the XP ring. Oh yeah, the amount of damage I'm doing per swing is so much better right now. I'm probably gonna have like an hour added onto this playthrough just from low damage from the magic build. I think I would have learned after Kingdom Hearts, or not Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy X Master Sphere Grid. I think these guys might be slightly faster, the armored shield guys with the magic build, just because the combo does a lot of magic damage and they're pretty resistant to physical. But everything else is just melting now. I'm pretty stoked to check out Talos Principle. I always heard a lot of good things about it. It's very Portal-like. The important thing is that the enemies that are immune to my magic, the wizard guys, should go down a lot more efficiently now, too. Extra 2 aerial combos are where it's at. I need spirit gems? I did. Now I know what they are that drop them. That's the door I just popped out of, right? Oh, we didn't want to go down. That's doing pretty well at 810 votes. Working its way up there. We've been churning pretty well with the new unified voting spreadsheet. Bonus streams are effectively adding extra voting spreadsheet days during the week. Even if they don't pay off for a little while. Hello. Magic form fire spells magic and magnet and reflect. Oh, I see. Magnet drains MP. I think that's how it works in like Earthbound. Rasp Osmos. Not worth it. Oh, pulls enemies on you. Oh shit, okay. That's pretty good. Is it cheap to cast? I think Andrea got one of these to drop, I want to say it's Save the King. Goofy's best shield. Oh, he probably has Save the Queen because he's a paladin. Save the King must be the staff. The wizards have a very low chance to drop it. Banjo-Kazooie, nice. Banjo-Kazooie will be blind for me, believe it or not. There's an entire era of collectathon 3D platformers that I almost completely did not experience, starting around the release of Banjo-Kazooie. Made a lot of, like, some of the... It defined the collectathon genre, I feel like. There were other games like that before Banjo-Kazooie. Okay. Don't think that's actually what I want to do here. Yeah, Microsoft owns it. Ugh. Ugh. Yuck. They butchered a bunch of Rare games after they bought them, right? I think they re-released Conker's Bad Fur Day, and then, like, censored it on the Xbox, even though it wasn't censored on the Nintendo 64. Serp is a top-tier manipulator. Hi, Ben. Oh, never mind. I jumped out. It's a 360 re-release of Banjo-Kazooie. That's good. We're done. I think DJR was a Microsoft tester that worked on Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. I've heard good things about Diddy Kong Racing. That'll be blind for me as well. Yeah, the new Battletoads, I'm pretty stoked. I mean, I like that the trailer was referencing the hardest part of Battletoads. It would be kind of cool if they're trying to make the game really difficult. I wonder if they're going to follow through. I was kind of bummed that no one in the audience knew what it was. Part of the, like, I guess I had the advantage of knowing that it was a Battletoads reveal when I turned it on. I don't speak about nuts and bolts. Getting knocked off platforms in Kingdom Hearts. Oh, there's a Battletoads cameo in Shovel Knight? I didn't catch that. When does it happen? Wait, it's just... It doesn't feel right. Did I get knocked off on a janky side? Yeah. Me too. Oh, no. Oh, it's hidden and exclusive to PC and Xbox. I think I finally beat that stupid segment for the first time ever on stream back when we were doing themed console days. That was a really long time ago. It was like 2015. They're like, hey, today's NES day. Let's play a bunch of NES games for like 15 minutes apiece. As if changing games 6 times a day wasn't bad enough. And I beat it by making a save state at the beginning of the stage. So I still kind of cheated. I still tried to practice it until I could beat it all in one run, but I gave myself infinite continues, basically. I actually owned Battletoads when I was a kid, believe it or not. I owned very few games, generally rentals focused. I remember having my mind blown that in the first level, throw the thing at the screen and it cracks the screen. Sorry, still some Belmont family traits. Could you talk to the princesses in the original game? I think this might be new to Final Mix. Never learned his last name. His parents are suspiciously absent. Definitely canon. Maybe. I remember talking to Belle, so I remember getting that Keyblade. Maybe I don't remember just because nothing happens. Give my love to the princesses. Ted, don't forget to wind your watch. Battletoads was the first arcade motherboard you bought? Awesome. I still have the dream of building a MAME cabinet. I technically own a copy of Gauntlet Dark Legacy, like an arcade cabinet that I bought in Columbus, Ohio. I'd have to get it out here to New Mexico, though. That might be a bit of a challenge. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked for the new Bill and Ted. I think they can do it in a way that's cool. Bill and Ted is a really critical piece of fiction in my development as an adult. Like, it was one of 2 or 3 VHS tapes that I would just watch, rewind, and then watch again as a kid. And probably quote the whole movie front to back. Only really do that with that movie, Big Lebowski, and maybe one other film. I have to think about it. Oh, you should totally see it. It holds up. Not just because I'm nostalgic for it. It's just it's a fun movie. Historical fiction. Oh, if you haven't seen it recently, you should fix it. Boga's Journey's not very good. Like, it has some funny sequences, but it's definitely trying to ape on the success of the original. Back to the Future, was that like that for you? But, the premise of Bill and Ted, if you've never seen it before, is that there are these 2 kids, like high school students, seniors, Keanu Reeves and Alex Winters, the eponymous Bill and Ted, and they are kind of smart, but they're slackers, so they're currently failing history, and if they fail history, Keanu Reeves' character Ted will be sent to a boarding school in Alaska, and they'll be forced to break up their awesome Van Halen-esque rock band that they formed, but they are also terrible at playing instruments. But unbeknownst to them, in the distant future, they're actually the saviors of humanity. Their music brings about world peace and ends all conflict, and they're basically worshipped as heroes in the distant future. So George Carlin has to go back in time to establish a stable time loop where they pass their history exam so that Bill and Ted can still save the world and bring about world peace by their band not falling apart. And they do this by traveling back in time to earlier time periods and collecting historical figures to bring with them to their history report they do in the present. And it's one of those, like, even describing the film, that's such a creative idea, right? It's not a rehash of a book or anything. It's not a sequel. It's so great. It's so great. Even if you just look at it as, wow, isn't that a really cool creative plotline? Who thought of that? You know, would that get greenlit today? Is it safe enough? Priesthood of Peril. Canon Z is actually a future son of Riku and Kaioru. Thrown in the past, when he merged the 7 pieces of the broken heart of the first Keyblade builder, whose Sora's grandfather came into the future for the time of the Keyblade Wars. That is likely to be true. Oh, and it's endlessly quotable. It's such a good movie. Like, the weird thing with Bill and Ted is that it's implied that they're dumb, but they're not really dumb. Like, they use... They have a really advanced vocabulary they use in fun ways. Most heinous. Like, one of my favorite lines in the whole movie is where they capture Billy the Kid, and they bring him and Socrates, who they keep calling him Socrates. They bring them in medieval times, and Billy the Kid's like, "Come on, Socrates, you want to play ball?" And Bill is like, "Billy, you are handling the oddity of time travel with the greatest of ease." That tickles me for some reason. I don't know. I think that Bill and Ted has the precision of dialogue and scening and sequencing. Like, it doesn't sit there on one idea and spend forever saying nothing, I think is what I don't like about the zipper opera that is Kingdom Hearts. Sure, it's weird, but it's like weird with a point, and it follows kind of traditional storytelling rules. I hear your point, though. Thinking about it, is it just a nostalgia thing, East versus West thing? Sure, yeah. I don't know though, I've played some, like, we've been playing Shadow Hearts Covenant, which has a ridiculous, stupid plot, and I've really been enjoying that one because it kind of respects your time, and so, at least so far hasn't been zipper operating too hard. Or like, Katamari Damacy is one of my favorite games of all time. Just invisible enemy, I haven't seen one of these guys before. Can I like cast a spell on him to stop him or something? Gravity didn't do it. Oh, interesting. So I can hit him to get MP back, maybe? No. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Goofy. Good timing. He may have ran away. Katamari's plot is super weird and incredibly stupid, but I love Katamari because it respects your time. It's like, yeah, God got drunk and destroyed the cosmos, and now you have to roll up a bunch of shit on Earth to replace the stars. Okay. Doesn't make any sense, but that's fine. Do you think the Katamari can restore the cosmos? No, I think the Katamari will never be restored. Oh, there's multiple invisible dudes here. The only way I can fight them is with stop, right? Yeah, that takes too long. Screw it. Cousin Venmo. Come on. Dark Depths, here we go. Progress save. Yeah, Katamari's self-aware of its goofiness. It's self-aware of its goofiness while also being sincere. Kingdom Hearts is sincere and does not seem to realize how dumb it is. Is this enemy called a Behemoth? It kind of looks like a Final Fantasy Behemoth, as interpreted by Kingdom Hearts.
Come on.
Sweet.
Come on.
Flaming Heartlock in here. Come on, dude.
Heal.
Oil. Yeah, I'm just gonna bail on farming. Once I started to see the kind of shit they added to require it, I'm like, ugh. Then we gotta fight this guy, Chernabog, and then we have to go. There's a pretty big endgame zone. Yeah, I will go do the Hades Cup, I think, because that's fun. Now that I've got a better build, I should be able to do it a little bit more effectively. There's like a crazy end of the world zone. I think there's more than 4 hours left in the game, even if I just like go ham and focus it down and skip the Hades Cup. So we probably won't beat it next week, but we'll definitely beat it the week after that, and then we can do some Final Fantasy IV. Yeah, there's actually a lot more after this section. Now that I'm trying to recreate it in my head. We have to go through a giant end of the world zone. It's pretty big. There's several kind of little boss rushes. You have to fight Chernabog. If I recall correctly, once you go to the point of no return to fight Ansem, it's at least 2 hours. Well, it's at least 1 hour for sure, but it might be as much as 2 hours. There's a bunch of fights. There's a ton of cutscenes, which shouldn't be a surprise. That fight was so much more smooth now that I switched my build to combat. Thanks for the heads up about the bell keyblade.
Did it.
Go to the point of no return and then leave. You can check out the super boss. Yeah, it'd be fun to see who it is. Zipper Man from the little post-ending trailer thing, maybe. This is our childhood home. Okay. So they're not literally from their Final Fantasy worlds. Until Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3. Willow's a scary movie. Labyrinth can be a little scary too, but at least it's fun and has songs. Oh, Labyrinth is great. Remind me of the babe. Yeah, I agreed. I give Tetsuya Nomura shit constantly, but what he does have is a really good eye for the cinematic. He's the video game equivalent of Zack Snyder. Except Zack Snyder can actually finish movies.
We may never meet again, but we'll never forget each other.
No matter where we are, our hearts will bring us together again.
Besides, I couldn't
What
forget
power.
you, even if I wanted to.
What's that supposed to mean?
You have really big feet and it's weird.
Hurry! Come and close the keyhole!
Sora, good luck.
I feel like if Zack Snyder worked for Square Enix, he'd probably get away with taking 10 years to make Batman vs. Superman. Maybe it would be better for it, who knows. But he also has a really good eye for the cinematic. He's really good at coming up with it. Wouldn't it be a cool bullet point scene if this happens? He just has no capability to get you from point A to point B in a way that makes any rational sense. Like, even Batman vs. Superman, like, if you see the matrix of that movie and you kind of get the point that Zack Snyder was trying to make, I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of get where you were trying to go with this. But you have to exert a lot of effort to get into his headspace about it. He doesn't earn it with the way the story's told. Powerful darkness growing somewhere far away. Heart of Darkness. Hey, Firaga hype. So I might be able to do Hades Cup now, we'll go see. Save real quick. I thought we went to the final zone directly from there. I just misremembered. End of the world. Let's try it. I think the reward for doing it's pretty good. Turn on the cat cam. Ben is angry and hungry, as is his way. Hi, Ben. He's never eaten before. He doesn't know the meaning of food. It's giving me this I hate you face. Love you too, Ben. He's been snuggling every night ever since Andrea got back. Ooh, do this right away. Sweet, I thought I had to do the Hades Cup first. Guess I'll give it a try and see how much damage I do. If it's really bad, I'll die on purpose. Earth Titan first, maybe? Or is it Ice Titan? Oh, you can go fight Sephiroth immediately? I thought you had to fight the Ice Titan first. Well, we'll let Lance Bass kick our ass. But you won't die on purpose. Maybe they changed that in Final Mix. Sing along, but I'll be off the game music, unfortunately. Got a Lance Bass. But we can hear him say Sin Harvest. I love how you don't even see his health go down at all. Is there a super glide you get later where you glide faster? Maybe get that in the final zone after you fight Chernobog. That's the only way to make fighting him reasonable. Okay. I'll wait until I get that before we attempt him then. Support in the stream. Paying for utilities. Come, come, do not let me die. Glorious and noble. And wrecked. Basically have to have arrow on. Burning inside with violent anger. Burning inside with violent anger. Sephiroth.
What an easy win!
Give the Hades Cup a try. Looks like it has checkpoints, which is cool. Is the first season good, Chaos? I didn't check it out yet.
Thunder!
Andrea read the book. I like Neil Gaiman a lot. Okay.
Heal!
For Daisy. Are there checkpoints in the Hades Cup? Am I remembering that right? You get something better if you finish it all in one run, maybe? Comic book is fun. That sounds like Neil Gaiman to me. Okay. Just watching the time. I don't want to go way over. Oh boy. Does it let you leave at the end of 10 levels? Or is it only if you die? I think I should probably go into the end of the world just to get access to Super Glide. It just makes traveling through the rest of the game so much more convenient. Oh, I could just die in here before I cast Cure. Right. We'll go do that and we'll come back and do this. You have to lose to end it. Okay, thank you. Good to know. I might try to do a quick round of gummy enhancements so it doesn't take too long, or at least do one of the preset blueprints. I don't think I ever built or bought any of the, Wait, really? Oh, I could gummy ship from in here. It's not... I don't think I bought any of the CPU upgrades, which I'm pretty sure are necessary. Alright, so let's go to the end of the world and see how far we can get. I want to screw around with gummy ships. Do I need enhanced CPUs to do that? I'm gonna come in here and give up basically immediately. Oh, you can have transform between two different ones? Wow, there's so many mechanics here that are kind of unnecessary. Fritz. I think I need to have CPUs for most of these. Screw it. Not worth it. Hey, Ben. Is there a way to stream American Gods right now, or do you need cable for it? Like FX or something? Now, Andrea was telling me that the book had a lot to do with Odin, so that's up my alley. Amazon Prime? Oh, well, shit. Easy mode. It's the one thing everybody probably automatically has for other reasons. Oh, that's cool. Apparently R1 locks the target indicator. You can just dodge after that. I haven't lost one of these yet, even with the starting ship. Yeah, I guess I upgraded my guns a little bit. I added a laser and 2 extra turrets. Oh god, Aki. I'm still subscribed to Dungeons & Dragons 4th edition player tools, which they've never just released for free to people that still like 4th edition. And to use it, I have to use Microsoft Silverlight, which to make that work requires a lot of effort. These are like Ultima ships or something? I don't remember. Does not run in Chrome at all. I think I have to run an old compatibility version of Internet Explorer. Like, it won't work in Edge either, which is kind of embarrassing for Microsoft. It must have like some security vulnerabilities or something. I think I ended up, in order to get it to work, I ran it in a virtual machine. Yeah. I had an edgy 8-year-old Facebook memory pop up today where I was, let me see if I can find it. Basically, if I stay on top of my Facebook memories, every so often something pops up from 8 years ago, I cringe, then I delete it. Because it's good to be embarrassed of the stuff you said in the past, right? That means that you're growing as a person. I'll wait until Facebook loads here. Just generally isn't supported anymore. You think Edge would at least do it for legacy purposes, or other apps for that matter. Benedict, please don't walk on the keyboard.
Taken by the heartless?
Please don't continue to stand on the keyboard,
Those
jeez.
worlds will be restored if we beat Ansem, right?
You betcha!
But if we do beat him,
Haley
and all these
Joel
worlds become restored and disconnected, what's gonna happen to this place? And to us?
Ugh.
this is a heartless world, so maybe it'll just disappear.
Huh?
But no worries. Even if this place goes poof, our hearts ain't going nowhere. I'm sure we'll find our pals again. Yep, I just know that we will. Yep.
Yeah, you're right. I'll return this. I promise.
Creepy asterisks. Nothing wrong with Wii Sports, although I was throwing shade at them for, like, incessantly copying the Wii. Yeah. Ugh. I hate Past Me so much. That was especially bad Past Me. That was pre-Andrea me. I think I joined Facebook like 3 months before I met her. I met her in August of 2010. Well, there's only a few posts that are pre-Andrea. Those were dark times. This is a really cool looking Heartless. This game really nails its final area. Yeah, that's about true too. Around the time I got a real job, Kat was actually my first actual friend. Like, you know, as in a two-way friendship. I think I met him around 2006. Let's see. I met Jaden when he was 4. He's 14 now. It's 2008. I guess he'll be the same Manaki. Yeah. Like, right, Chaos. I'll occasionally have little things that pop up like that. I'll be like, oh. How am I supposed to open that chest? Maybe it pops automatically? Maybe that's what this is. I definitely used to say that's so gay as a, ouch. Like, as a derogative to describe anything I didn't like that I thought was lame. So lots of Facebook posts have that and I cringe and delete them. Apparently kids still say that though, despite it not being, I guess it's never been acceptable. It's definitely not acceptable now. Come on. Yeah. Like, it's one of those things where it's frustrating because it has a very specific connotation that no other word really captures. I think there's a South Park episode about the F word that covers the same concept. Like, it's definitely correct not to use it. You know, it's like the N word. The N word has a very specific context that can often imply friendship and fraternity, while also implying lots of other things, like the word dude, right? You can use dude in 100 different ways, but it's just not appropriate to use it, right? Even if it has a useful lexical application. Oh shit, one of these is just another Behemoth. No kidding. Does he have less health or something? Right. It was a pretty good episode. I got their point. It's very challenging though. It's one of those situations where like you can't decide whether someone else should or shouldn't be offended by you saying something, you know? And it gets really complicated with certain words and certain groups. It's probably just better off not offending people if you can help it. If you're not, like, significantly curtailing your free speech, you know. Words and connotation, yeah. It's a complicated problem. You got other, you have like the, was it the medical euphemism treadmill, where like virtually every term we've ever used for handicapped or mentally disabled or mentally challenged has been used as a euphemism. You can't get away from it. Like even the word autistic I hear people use as an insult, like, oh, you're acting so autistic right now, and that's also inappropriate. I'll use non-clinical autism. Like, appending non-clinical before it. Oh, so I'm so non-clinically OCD. You never say seriously without a pained expression. Yeah. Right. So we might be able to get to the end of this zone before time. I guess if I backtrack, I don't lose any progress there, right? Probably. Actually, this may have been the way I came in, I don't remember. Right. It's one of those things where if you're a novice level grammar Nazi, novice level fan of words, you kind of get mad at people for using words incorrectly. That's not what that's supposed to mean. And then like advanced, like no, language is meant to convey meaning, so if you say something and people understand what you mean, that's what matters. It's not using it strictly correctly according to the original intended use. But there are still some words that you kind of have to reserve, I think, and be extra careful about. Might be a good stopping point. I don't think I can really... I'm not going to get further across and then make it back to the save point in a minute. Yeah, case study in etymology we can follow in real time. That's a really good way to put it. I love etymology. It's one of my... There's a large number of alternate universes where I went into linguistics because it's super duper interesting. Thanks everybody for hanging